Hello, welcome to Flyers TV, powered by ATPI for the second leg of the ENBL playoff quarter-final between BC Siauliai of Lithuania and the Bristol Flyers, live from the Siauliai Arena. Very warm welcome to you at home. Thanks for tuning in to Flyers TV at the earlier than normal time of 3:30 p.m. Joel Osborne alongside former Flyers captain Gareth Till in the studio to talk you through all the build-up ahead of tonight's game. And Gareth, it all comes down to this for Bristol Flyers. It's an 8-point deficit they need to make up away from home. How do you see this one playing out today?
Well, it's going to be a tough game. Siauliai are a great team. They had a great away leg for them. An outstanding arena as well. You can see in the background there, it's going to be a packed house. So Bristol Flyers have got it all to do, but what a way to go through to the next round if they manage to overturn this deficit away from home.
And the Flyers, they're no strangers to overturning a first leg deficit. I mean, you only have to look to last year in the British Basketball League playoff semi-final against Leicester. They trailed by double figures early in the first leg. They came back and they pushed Leicester all the way. They even took a lead of their own going into that final quarter. 2018 against the Newcastle Eagles, they were able to overturn an 11-point deficit in the playoff quarter-finals. So Coach K has the recipe to be able to pull off the second leg comeback.
Yeah, exactly. It's certainly possible. It's a 40-minute, well, it's an 80-minute game, but 40 minutes tonight as well. So, it's not an insurmountable amount for them to come back from. They've done it before. Even in the home leg, they were down by, big double-digit deficit and were able to come back into the game and retake the lead. So, it's a tough ask, but they're certainly capable of doing it. They've got a player back from injury as well, Leslie Smith, which will be a big boost for the Bristol Flyers. But look, make no mistakes, it's going to be a tough game away there today. But, Bristol Flyers, this is almost the final here, isn't it? Everything to play for to get through to that next round in this competition.
Yeah, Flyers just one step away from writing a new chapter in club history. The players arrived in Lithuania yesterday. They travelled straight from the British Basketball League All-Star game at the weekend. They practiced at the Siauliai Arena last night. And Gareth, what do you think is going to be going through the players' minds heading into this game?
Now, they'll be excited. They'll want to get the game on, get into the game, settle in, have a good start to the game. I think that's going to be really important tonight. It's having a good start. Siauliai were very aggressive coming out the blocks on the away leg there, or our home leg. So I think, just settling down, getting acclimatised, great that they're out there shooting around on the court. But they'll be excited. That's what they're out there. Professional basketball players, they'll love to get the game on and really overturn this deficit and make some progress.
Yeah, it's what all professional basketball players play for, isn't it? These moments are the kind of moments that players dream of. And confidence will be high in Flyers camp. They kept the last game in the British Basketball League, a huge 37-point win against Leicester.
Yeah, that is massive. What a way to set yourself up for this important game today. We've spoken about Bristol Flyers not being on the greatest of run domestically, and then obviously a tough leg against Siauliai, but what a way to bounce back against Leicester. So that will give them absolutely plenty of confidence. Bit of a relaxing weekend with the All-Star competition as well. Just sort of take their minds off it, focus on something else. So they'll be up for this. They'll be super excited to get out there and play tonight in front of a big crowd. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that first leg between these two teams. Flyers fell short by 8 points at home at the SGS College Arena, and this is a game. Flyers, they trailed by as many as 17 points in the first leg, and this Keedy Johnson run sparked the comeback. Levi Bradley completed the comeback on a made three in the third quarter. So it just shows that this team has the ability to come back from big deficits against this Siauliai side.
Yeah, and Siauliai, they came out really strong, really aggressive. A lot of full court pressure. Making Flyers take bad shots and bad shots, if you like. The 3-point shooting was a struggle in the first half, and they were able to sort of weather that storm, and then shots came a little bit easier in that third quarter. Really had a big comeback, and then Siauliai just had a bit more in the tank in that fourth quarter and took the game away. But Bristol Flyers were hoping to keep that under sort of containment away from home, so they don't have even bigger deficit to climb in this game.
And this is a game that could have very, very easily been a single possession game going into the second leg. Thorpe knocked down 3 straight threes in the fourth quarter to push Siauliai further ahead, but then there was a made Tevin Ollison 3-pointer after a Levi Bradley out of bounds, which could have made it a 3-point game. Instead, that Siauliai go the other end, call a timeout, and then a Polis Danisavic's dunk at the buzzer made it 8. So it's one of those ones where these fine margins in aggregate score can play all the difference.
Yeah, hugely so. You hit the nail on the head there. Like these fine margins, just one or two plays, and that just makes the deficit even bigger to overcome. So yeah, they'll be ruining those chances. Of course, it's made it even sort of a bigger hill to climb in this second leg. But like I said, the guys will be confident. On paper, it's 8 points to tie, 9 to win. I'm sure they'll just be wanting to put their performance on and then worry about the scores if we're in that position in the fourth quarter to see where they are and how they can get back and win the game.
Yeah, well, let's take a look at the team news heading into tonight's game, starting with the host, BC Siauliai. And a big change for them since the first leg. They've been able to add American guard Sean Armand to the roster. His 10th season as a pro, he had 15 points in his Lithuanian league debut, makes his ENBL debut here tonight. And interesting to see how many minutes he'll play with this being such an important European game for them.
Yeah, obviously they brought Armand in, plenty of experience there, so I don't think you're throwing someone in there that's going to be fazed by the big occasion. I'm sure they had that in mind when they recruited Armand into the roster, that can add something straight away and not be fazed by this competition or the surroundings. So I expect to see good minutes from him. Which again doesn't really help, Bristol Flyers adding, a quality American to the lineup.
Another player to watch out for, LJ Thorpe. Now, he was 2 assists and 2 rebounds shy of a triple-double in that first leg at the SGS College Arena, and he really pulled the strings for them, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He had some huge plays, particularly when they were struggling a little bit. Made some big plays just to keep that momentum going for them and to see them home in that fourth quarter.
Let's take a look at the roster for Coach Kapoulas' side tonight. And big news for Flyers. You mentioned it at the top of the programme. Leslie Smith back into the rotation. He travelled with the team to Lithuania, and that is a massive boost to the Flyers' front court.
Yeah, exactly. And we talked about it with the coaching staff at the home leg. Highlighting what a big difference it makes having Leslie Smith into that rotation, able to guard the bigger players as well. Siauliai do have some size, sort of all the way across their squad. Man for man, they're a bigger, taller team. So having a bit of size in Leslie Smith back is going to help that situation. And he can really have that spark offensively as well. He can do those, he's got that three-point ability and just create that energy, that, enthusiasm off the bench, can really turn a game on its head.
Well, one player that we want to take a look at heading into this one is Tevin Ollison. Now, he finished with 31 points against the Leicester Riders in the last British Basketball League game. 25 of those were in the first half alone. He's had back-to-back games in the British Basketball League with 25-point first halves. He just seems to keep getting better and better every week.
Yeah, he's quality, an absolute quality player for the British Basketball League and the Bristol Flyers, and he really can do it all. He's so versatile, knocking down some huge threes. Range doesn't seem too much of an issue. Gets to the basket really well. Just a smart player as well. And it's not forced shots either. It's all shots that are coming to him in rhythm. Nothing's being forced. And as you said, Joel, he's just getting better and better throughout his career. Still a young man, and you just feel there's an awful lot more to come from him as well.
And another player that's playing some of his best basketball we've seen in a Bristol Flyers uniform right now is Keedy Johnson. Now, he's had a couple of good games very recently. 16 points in the first leg against Siauliai. Also 23 points in this game against the Leicester Riders.
Yeah, exactly. Talk about it offensively, but also defensively as well, Joel. It adds an awful lot defensively. Quite often we'll see him take charge. He'll put his body on the line for the team. But yeah, he again, a player that had a long layoff with a broken wrist, come back into the squad and really beginning to build up momentum at a really crucial time for the Bristol Flyers.
And it's not just the stuff he does in the offensive end, but the defensive end as well. I mean, he had 5 steals in that game, and the stuff that doesn't appear in the stat sheet, his ability to take charges as well.
Yeah, exactly, and that's something that you have to want to take a charge. You put your body on the line, you're sacrificing yourself. It's going to hurt, but that crucial turnover, that defensive stop to sort of give yourself an advantage offensively is massive, and I'm sure Coach Kapoulas, I'm sure he loves him as a player for that all-round presence and game that he brings on both ends of the floor. So yeah, great to have him back in, and as I said, momentum-wise at the right sort of time, offensively and defensively, would be a big help.
Yeah, well, we've taken a look at the team news for tonight's game, but Gareth, it wouldn't be a Siauliai away day without our ENBL away day without our alternative guide to our opponents. And I know you've been looking forward to this moment because it's time for us to take an alternative look at tonight's opponents, BC Siauliai.
Who's Who's ready for a trip into Europe for ENBL hoops? I can't hear you! Siauliai is situated in Lithuania and is the country's 4th largest city with a population of just over 100,000. However, before I go any further, I have to tell you, this one was a real struggle to write. This is a very quiet area of the Baltics, so forgive me if I don't inspire you to travel here straight away. What I can tell you is a good meeting place in the centre of Siauliai is the Siauliai Cockerel Love Clock. I said love clock. When the cockerel was first introduced, it would actually spread its wings and sing every hour, but it ran out of steam some time ago, so now people just meet there. An actual Siauliai saying is, "See you at the cock." I'm not even kidding.
I'm a peacock! You gotta let me fly!
Famous people from Siauliai include MMA fighter Mariusz Zaromskis, basketball player Robertas Javotkas, selected by the San Antonio Spurs in 2001 but never actually played a game for them, and film director Sarunas Bartas. He made the film 7 Invisible Men, but no one saw it. When it comes to museums, I think Siauliai likes its variety. We've got the Bicycle Museum, the Railway Museum, the Cat Museum and the Photography Museum, but may I recommend a little trip outside of Siauliai to the Hill of Crosses, and what you'll find there is a small hill with around 150,000 crosses crisscrossing the top of it. No one knows why it started, but today most see it as a chance to pay tribute to lost ones, including the Pope himself. On to tonight's challenge and Siauliai Basketball Club, probably the 3rd biggest team in Lithuania. They are 3-time BBL champions, that's Baltic Basketball League to you and me. Averaging 2,000 fans for their home games, the support will be there tonight. So the Flyers are against the odds for sure, but gentlemen, while we may be 8 points down, the fire in our bellies will not be diminished, for we are the Bristol Flyers. Many have tried, and many have failed to break our spirit. We never give up, and we will never surrender. Bit much? Yeah. Come on, the Flyers.
Well, Gareth, what to make of that? Could be our best alternative guide yet, right?
I think it's certainly up there. Producer Dan knocking it out of the park again with some very informative knowledge about Siauliai, and it's certainly been a highlight for me coming in and having this bit of history and knowledge about the locations that the Bristol Flyers were playing. Another great episode by Dan.
Yeah, well, I think we all need to take a little break after seeing that, VT. So do join us after the break, because very shortly we'll be hearing from Flyers head coach Andreas Kapoulas ahead of tonight's game.
Is watching basketball at 3 in the morning enough? No, of course not. So you always wanted to be part of the team. Your own basketball club. In your own backyard. What if I said you could? ENBL. 9 European countries, 15 pro teams, 60 games a season. The fastest growing basketball league in Europe. In the arena, on TV, or streaming live on your phone. Reach out to us and join the ENBL family. ENBL, right here in your backyard.
No one goes further than ATPI to get our customers and understand what you need. We know that different people, in different roles, in different industries, need different things. And you want a specialist to deliver what really matters. We know the way your business works and what you need to get the job done. We're on call at any time, getting your teams almost anywhere. When the trip goes from A to B to Z, we make it hassle-free. At ATPI, our purpose is clear. Through our group of specialist businesses, ATPI Corporate Travel, Marine Travel and Energy Travel, Mining Travel, Events, Sports Travel and Direct ATPI. We will deliver what really matters to you and your organisation. ATPI, delivering what really matters.
Welcome back to Flyers TV, powered by ATPI, where tip-off between Bristol Flyers and BC Siauliai is just under 15 minutes away. But last time out in the British Basketball League, the Flyers bounced back from a 6-game losing skid in the British Basketball League as they defeated the Leicester Riders at home.
That's going to be a big factor in the game today. You know, we've seen it in previous games this season that Brad Green has destroyed the Leicester Riders on the offensive glass, and I think that will be a key for the Bristol Flyers winning today for them.
Well, Walker fires up the three. No good for him as Lucas attacks the baseline and the foul is called. And it looks like the basket will count here.
It'd be great to see what he's got to offer.
Well, we're looking forward to that all-star opportunity. The power is in the players' hands, and I cannot emphasize it enough. Oh, wow, look at this. Tevin Ollison getting all the way to the bucket. Fresh 14, so Bristol will look to find the best possible opportunity to score the ball here, which is Jacob, catch and shoot, three, and it's just going to be one of those days. You can feel it in your fingers, you can feel it in your toes. And Trajan Jacob, everybody knows.
You can see it with the Bristol Flyers as well. Their energy, their intent, they're so aggressive at this moment in time. You know, Leicester Riders are playing catch-up basketball at the moment.
Jaron Holmes, big three if it goes down, and it does.
This Leicester Riders team, that if you do isolate him, he can create, he can score on anyone in this league.
Free ball goes up here, and another big triple. Knockdown. Tevin Ollison racking up the points in this first half. On the right-hand side of the floor. Now skipping across the defense there. Inside again for two. Tevin Ollison tried to find Ollison. He thought he was steamrolling through the paint, but the pull-up three, Bradley. Green with the boards and one. That's an incredible rebound and finish from Green. So far in this game, comes up with another board. It's rebound number 6 for him. Ollison going all the way. And a blocking foul called, the basket called, and one.
He is a scorer. He's going to want to get his average up. You know, he's going to get his shots up in this half, and you can guarantee that Teddy's going to try and get to that 20-point mark because he Johnson.
Fire up a triple, and there's a response from Bristol. Kenny Johnson from downtown. A challenging situation for any professional basketball coach. You're there to win games overall, but when you do have young British talent on the bench, you know, from a British basketball perspective, you wanna see those players step onto the court and do well, but you also understand that coaches want to win games, and I would love to have seen more of Blake Bowman this season. You know, there's still time, but would love to see more. Brad Green, somehow, he's ended up with that. We
produce a lot of talent in this country, and it's just making sure that talent's looked after and nurtured and given a good opportunity to play and play professional basketball. You know, one of the most jealous things I was of when I was playing abroad in Spain, etc. We'll see him.
Thomas Edwards turning the corner, going up. Oh, that's a big rejection from Juice Shelton. Blake Bowman now, the showman, rising above the rim, talking about our young British talent. That man has Jacob, and they're just off running here, Bristol. Foul called, blocking foul, basket good.
And we've seen a few of these today to hear. Thomas, as we said, they can do that. You know, the lead they've got allows them to do what they want this moment in time on the court. So
Johnson again to the bucket for two. And the only time ever that they've put 100 points past them. Their highest ever scoring tally against the Riders as well, as the game will finish 108-71.
Yeah, massive win for the Flyers in that game. And Gareth, I'm sure if Coach Kapoulis' side can recreate a performance like that tonight, I'm sure he'll be very, very happy.
Yeah, what a great performance that was. Just watching the highlights there, fantastic. All over the Leicester Riders offensively and defensively. So, yeah, sets them up nicely. That bit of momentum going into tonight's game. But, yeah, what a way to break that duck in the British Basketball League to get back to winning ways.
Yeah, well, Coach Kapoulis' side is just 40 minutes away from potentially booking their place in the ENBL playoff Final Four. They have to overturn an 8-point deficit in tonight's game, and before they left for Lithuania, I had a chance to speak to Coach Kapoulis ahead of tonight's game. Well, Andreas, of course, we're looking ahead to Siauliai on Tuesday night. Big game ahead, and, 8 points differential, all to play for going into the second leg.
Yeah, it's we look forward to. When we started the journey in Europe, we didn't know what to expect. And now to be in the playoff quarterfinals, and as you say, an 8-point game is nothing. We've got to play to win and see where we are at the end. We've been in these situations before in the playoffs in the British Basketball League, so we've got that experience. But we cannot be thinking about the points difference. We want to go play a good performance, 40-minute performance, win the ball game, and let's see where we are at the end of it.
What were some of the key lessons learned from the first leg about a week and a half ago?
Well, obviously Thorpe hurt us. We knew that he had an all-around game and he shot the ball well, so we've got to make sure we contain him, and his passing ability as well is really good, either in the low post or in ball screen situations, so we've got to make sure we do a good job on him. But they have multiple weapons out there. We just got to be consistent on the defensive end, and offensively we know we can hurt them. We just got to be in an aggressive mindset, and it will help to make some shots.
Just tell us how much it would mean to not only yourself but everyone involved with the programme if Flyers could punch their ticket to the ENBL playoff Final Four.
Yeah, the European competition has been an incredible journey, and in our first year, if we can secure a spot in the Final Four, it would be amazing for the program. All the hard work that goes. This is our 10th season in the British Basketball League, and to be playing in our first year in Europe and being in an opportunity to be in a European semi-final, it will mean a lot to everyone. We don't want to think too far ahead. I think it has been a great journey. I think we have really enjoyed the ride. So let's see if we can take one more step and make it a bit of more history.
You have managed to do these comebacks before in second leg. We've done a lot of this experience in two-legged basketball. The comeback over Newcastle. You almost did it against Leicester last season. Did you take experience from being there before, knowing that you guys can do it into this game on Tuesday?
Yes, certainly. And we have some of the players that have played in our team that we have achieved it with them in playoffs. So I think for us that experience has got to be valuable. What we know with those games is you cannot think too far ahead. You've got to play a possession at a time, and it's a little bit cliche, but that's how it goes really. And you've got to put yourself in a winning position in the fourth quarter. You've got to believe. And that has paid off for us over the years. We've got to have that type of mindset.
Thanks, Coach. Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Coach K speaking to us there ahead of tonight's game. And Gareth, regardless of what happens tonight in this game, how will Coach Kapoulis reflect on the European campaign as a whole?
Very positively. Coming into the competition, not really knowing kind of where you stack up on the European basketball front, man. They'll be delighted with how well it's gone to get through the group stage and into the playoffs. A lot of learning experience, an opportunity to play abroad, see some different, styles of play is just going to strengthen the players and the coaching staff sort of ability next year. If they go into European competition next year, hope they do. It'll sort of line them up in good stead for next year, and maybe depending on what happens this season, just take them on to that next level next season.
And we've seen 4 teams compete in European competition from the British Basketball League this season, and every time a team from the league competes on the international stage, you see an outpouring of good luck messages on social media from fans up and down the country. It really brings the British Basketball League community together because they put aside their rivalries between clubs and really want to root for British teams competing in Europe.
Yeah, 100%. The basketball community is a growing community. It's not like football where there's masses of fans. So I think we do need to get behind our teams and our clubs and see them do well in this competition, because it will just raise the level of the British Basketball League, attract better players to the league. And we've got great players at the moment, but it just gives that sort of credibility to the league even more. The fact we've got teams producing great results. Both men and women. The women, London Lions women, what a fantastic season they've had as well to reach the final. So it's it's all very, very positive stuff for British basketball.
Great stuff. Thanks a lot, Gareth. Well, we are all set for game time between Bristol Flyers and BC Siauliai. It's the second leg of the ENBL playoff quarter-final, and tip-off is coming up next.
Welcome to the game. Did you know that 4 out of 10 men wouldn't work as cabin crew because of some outdated stereotypes? So EasyJet held tryouts with the Bristol Flyers to challenge this assumption and see if they've got the skills to join our cabin crew dream team. Let's show them how we play. Ready for takeoff? The Flyers enter the court. Let's see if they've got the skills to win this game. Safety is in your hands, folks. A clear pass into the overhead compartments. Flyers following Pasquale's play-by-play here. Incredible teamwork. It's important that they talk to each other throughout. Your communication skills have to be on point at all times. Oh, look at that. Standing 6'3" with a 9-foot smile. Customer service and sales. That's what I'm talking about. What a team. The Flyers join forces with Europe's most loved airline to win at 30,000 feet. Bring the skills you already have and fly higher as part of EasyJet's cabin crew. Apply now.
Let's suppose that you were able every night to dream any dream you wanted to dream. And that you could, for example, have the power within one night to dream 75 years of time.
Good.
Naturally, as you began on this adventure of dreams, you would fulfill all your wishes. You would have every kind of pleasure you could conceive. And then you would get more and more adventurous. And you would make further and further out gambles as to what you would dream. And finally, you would dream where you are now.
Is watching basketball at 3 in the morning enough? No, of course not. So you always wanted to be part of the team. Your own basketball club in your own backyard. What if I said you could? ENBL. 9 European countries, 15 pro teams, 60 games a season. The fastest growing basketball league in Europe. In the arena, on TV, or streaming live on your phone. Reach out to us and join the ENBL family. ENBL, right here in your backyard.
Flyers TV powered by ATPI. We're all set for tip-off in the second leg of the ENBL playoff quarter-final between Bristol Flyers and BC Siauliai. Of course, Flyers looking to overturn the 8-point deficit, but Gareth, I'm sure Coach Kapoulas, he won't be thinking about that early on in this game. I guess it's one of those ones where you look to try and win the game first and then see where you're at come the fourth quarter.
Absolutely, yeah, you can't kind of win it in the first quarter, so be competitive, you know, put some confidence, put some good play together, and then see where you are in this fourth quarter. You know, we saw a very aggressive start from Siauliai in the last game. They want to make sure that doesn't have, be better prepared for that. They mixed up their defense quite a bit man to man. They threw in some zone press as well, so be prepared for the aggressive play of Siauliai, weather that, and then, you know, look to get into their own rhythm and put their game onto Siauliai.
We spoke about some of the key players to look out for coming into this one, but what are some of the key matchups you're excited to see out there? Because I know in the first leg it really was a tasty matchup between Brad Green and Thomas Pavelka inside.
Yeah, that was the big build-up, wasn't it? We talked about Pavelka and Brad Green, and I've got to say, you know, looking at that home tie, I thought Brad Green had the better of Pavelka. 7'2", very athletic, very talented, but Brad Green maybe that bit of experience, maybe slightly stronger play, but in some really good positions. And and that was a massive highlight for Bristol Flyers. They really got Siauliai inside, and you just got to find a way of getting Brad Green the ball inside. So I'm sure Siauliai will be sort of adjusting to that in tonight's game to manage Brad Green accordingly.
And of course, you know, this final huddle here now between both teams, what will be some of the key messages from Coach Kapoulas going into this first quarter? Because they got 40 minutes here to chip away at this league. I guess it's one of those ones where you don't want to make that run too early, but then you don't want to make it too late either.
Yeah, you've just got to play the game. Forget about the score. It's about playing the game and seeing where you are, as you mentioned earlier on, just to see where you are towards the end of the game. But you know, they'll go through the scout report. You know, he talked about Thorpe in the build-up and what they want to do. They'll expect, you know, an intense start from Siauliai, weather that, and just let the game play out and try and get into rhythm early on.
Well, as both teams get set to take the court, let's talk you through tonight's starting five, starting with the Bristol Flyers, and it's an unchanged five for Coach Kapoulas from the first leg. T-John Lucas, Keedy Johnson and Tevin Ollison in the backcourt. Levi Bradley alongside Brad Green making up the five for the Flyers. And big news for Siauliai coming into tonight, their starting lineup. LJ Thorpe, who had that near triple-double in the first leg, has been dropped to the bench. New signing Sean Armand comes into the starting five at the point guard position, Gareth.
Yeah, exactly. So, as we mentioned, you know, experienced player. But what I noticed about Siauliai last time, they rotated quite frequently. A lot of players got a lot of minutes, shared the minutes along their team. So I wouldn't read too much into that for sure. I'm sure Thorpe will get plenty of minutes and will get a chance to add to his tally from this first leg of the game.
It's going to be Armand alongside Shaquille Keith and Noyes Menakis, Polas Danisavicius alongside big 7'2", a big man, Thomas Pavelka playing inside. Well, we're all set for tip-off. Second leg of the ENBL playoff quarter-final. Siauliai with an 8-point advantage. And the opening tip is won by the hosts. Here is Armand, new signing for Siauliai. First ENBL appearance for him here this afternoon. Driving to the basket, looking to feed Pavelka inside. The turnaround hook is off the mark. And the rebound secured by Ollison. Ollison fires up a three in transition, is way off the mark, and it trickles out of bounds for a Siauliai ball.
Yeah, Ollison full of confidence and, you know, had no doubts in himself there shooting that basketball, just came up a little bit short. I'm sure he won't be put off by that miss and will look to continue his good form.
Here's Keith. Swings to Armand. Backing down Lucas. A bit of a size mismatch on Lucas. Nice ball into Pavelka. His jumper is good off the glass.
Yeah, very difficult to stop that. Pavelka, when he gets that sort of tight underneath the basket there. Brad Green making it as tough as he can without committing a foul. Pavelka kept his composure, put it away for the first points of the game.
There'll be a travel called on T-John Lucas. And another turnover for the Bristol Flyers. Siauliai with their 2-point advantage on the night means it is a 10-point lead on aggregate. Shaquille Keith looking to bring it up over the timeline. It's closely guarded by Ollison. Menakis. Screen comes from Pavelka. Armand now. Shot clock down to single digits. The triple is on the way. Menakis can't get it to go. Ollison with another rebound. Keedy Johnson on the wing. Bradley looking for it is Brad Green. The hook shot goes up and Brad Green his first field goal, and that will settle some nerves to the Bristol Flyers.
Yeah, smooth from Brad Green, and that, you know, talk about confidence, and that's a player I don't think he's been fazed by anything I've seen so far this season. You know, he knows exactly what he can do. He knows where he can get his position, and just a smooth finish.
Nice move from Armand, who gets his first field goal of the game. Battling through the trees of the Bristol Flyers. Lucas swings to Keedy Johnson, fakes the three, drives inside and pulls up from the elbow, off the glass, no good. He's looking for a foul, but nothing given by the officials. Danisavicius knocked loose by Keedy Johnson. That's exactly what we spoke about in the build-up, his ability to steal the ball and play at both ends. There's going to be a foul called on Pavelka. And Tevin Olesen will earn himself a trip to the free throw line.
Yeah, just the way Tevin Olesen, as he attacks the basket, just hangs in the air, makes that little bit of contact, knew it was coming, and then able just to get that shot away to earn himself a trip to the free throw line.
Now, Tevin Olesen at the foul line. Second year with the Bristol Flyers. His last 2 games, he's really shone for the team. 25-point first halves in both of them in the British Basketball League. He's averaging just 10 points a game in the European stage this season, but of course his first season of playing European basketball, like many of the players on this Bristol Flyers squad. Olsen knocks down the second. Here's Armand, guarded closely by Lucas. It's going to be an offensive foul called away from the ball. And Bristol Flyers will get this one back. It was a moving screen.
Yeah, just out of shot there. Couldn't see that one back. Interestingly, it looks like they play with the home ball, domestic ball for each of this competition as well. So that'll take a little bit used to as well. Not sure what ball they use in Lithuanian League. A little bit different to the British Basketball League.
The team did arrive yesterday. They had a chance to get some shots up in the arena. They had a shoot around this morning as well with the new balls. So chance to adjust to their environment. Here's Brad Green in the short corner. Mid-range jumper is way off the mark there.
Yeah, Pavelka, good defense. They'll want to try and force Brad Green as far away from the basket as they possibly can.
Shaquille Keith goes coast to coast, and it's far too easy for him in the end. He's unlucky not to finish that one, and he'll earn 2 shots at the line.
Yeah, Keith caused a few mismatch problems there. He plays a lot sort of as guard position there, but very stocky, big, strong guy, able to post up smaller guards. And we saw that a few times in the first leg. Real headache.
16 points in that first leg, and as you say, is that ability to not only back down smaller defenders, but also beat bigger players off the dribble with his foot speed. Huge screen from Brad Green as Lucas goes to the basket. It's blocked by Pavelka, but there's Brad Green on clean-up duty. Here's Keith. Thought about the 3. Swings to Danu Savicius. Armand fires up for 3. Splashes it. And 5 points so far in this first quarter for Siaulai's new signing.
Yeah, it's a solid start, isn't it? We wondered how many minutes he might get, but you can see already why they recruited him. And that is a sloppy pass there from Keedy Johnson, just flying over Lucas's hand.
3-point lead for Siauliai on the night, 11 on aggregate. Armand taking Lucas off the dribble. Now Keith. Again, it's going to be a foul call. This time on the floor. And that'll be the Flyers' 3rd team foul of this first quarter. It's going to be Armand to inbound. Here's Menakis looking down low to Armand. Draws in a double. Keith, extra pass. Danu Savicius wide open for 3. And he drains the 3.
Lovely basketball there, moving the ball around the perimeter, looking for that extra man. Took his time, knocked it down. Really nice stuff from the Lithuanian team.
Well, he's a near 40% 3-point shooter in the Lithuanian League this season. And they left him far too open on that occasion. Johnson driving to the basket, draws the contact. No foul given, say the officials. Keith pushing in transition all the way to the bucket, reverse layup off the glass.
And we say about Keith's strength there, but you just saw that quickness, that little burst of speed, able to get out and lays it home. And yeah, I'm sure Coach Kurtz will be thinking about a timeout soon if can't break this spell.
Bradley's mid-range 2 no good. Rebound secured by Danu Savicius. Armand again open for 3, splashes it. And Armand has 8 first quarter points. And Coach Kapoulis looks to call a timeout because Siauliai have extended their lead 17 points to 6 in this second leg.
Yeah, very, very solid start from Siauliai, and maybe not quite as aggressive we saw them defensively in the first half, but you know, plenty of good offensive individual skills and team offense. Some nice looks at the basket.
Here's a look at some of those key plays from the first quarter so far. It was great ball movement as well, and they've had some open looks from downtown, sharing the love so far, and Armand's been really pulling the strings in place of Thorpe, who did it in the first leg.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, that is slightly daunting. We got Thorpe coming in off the bench as well, but yeah, very strong start from Siauliai, and Coach Kapoulis will want to have a bit of time to discuss things and try and slow them down.
And what will be the topics of conversations in this timeout, do you feel, from Coach Kapoulis? I mean, they're trailing this one early on. Obviously, they've got the 8-point aggregate deficit as well on top of that. But I imagine it's one of those ones where, you know, a few early game nerves from the team. We've seen them settle for those sort of mid-range, longer jump shots than they're used to. I'm sure he'll be looking to get something going to the basket out of the timeout.
Yeah, definitely, and I'm sure, you know, he'll be playing the game. He won't be thinking about really the aggregate score at this point. He'll just be, you know, playing what's in front. But you know, certainly defensively, 17 points in the first sort of 5 minutes. That will be, you know, concerning, and just 6 the other end. And you know, the length and size of Siauliai is causing a problem. Even on the drives to the basket, they've defended the hoop pretty well, and that's not going to help either. Brad Green called for the offensive screen there, just a little shuffle across, and that's, I think, 2 for him. And see Leslie Smith, I'm sure, coming into the game now.
Well, it is a first taste of action for Leslie Smith. Of course, he missed nearly 2 months of the British Basketball League season with that fractured hand, and great to see him back out there on the court, because he'll be crucial for the Flyers for the remainder of this campaign.
Well, exactly, for this sort of situation as well. Brad Green picking up a couple of early fouls, and just to have Leslie come in with his experience and size.
Another 3-ball drops for Armand. Incredible. 11 first quarter points for him now.
He's certainly making his mark on this Siauliai team.
Here's Lucas. Screen from Smith. Ollison coming off the screen. Euro step, puts it up, and he's able to draw the foul. Tevin Ollison will let himself a pair of free throws. I imagine that's more of what Coach Kapoulis wants to see, you know, coming out of the timeout, get a good play drawn up, maybe the draws foul, you know, something going to the hoop there, and that on that occasion getting fouled.
Yeah, I think it will need to come out of some actions as well. I think if you're going to go 1-on-5, it's going to be very, very difficult with Siauliai. They're a tall team, they're a long team. If they're sort of standing straight up there with their hands, it's going to be difficult to move around. So you have to move the ball 3 or 4 times just to get the defense shift and then attack the basket and try and find those lanes to the hoop. But also, you know, it's you're going to have to knock down shots if they're open as well. You know, it feels Bristol are really kind of having to put a lot of effort in their offensive end, and Siauliai just going through their plays and getting some nice shots, making some big shots, but it seems a lot easier for them offensively at the minute.
And also on the defensive end as well, they've allowed 20 points in just over 5 minutes as well. Here's Stankavicius. Basleek. Foul called on Ollison. You see he's got his hand caught up in the cookie jar there.
And they certainly had a good battle down at the SGS Wives Arena. You know, Basleek, the type of player that sort of got into Tevin Ollison's head a little bit. They had a little spell where they were sort of going back and front, and Ollison picked up a sort of a cheap foul, getting involved with him. So, you know, he's certainly a player that did stand out for me in the home leg, the French player there, Basleek.
Around the glass, swings to, well, it goes inside now. Backing down is Basleek, kicks it out as the shot clock expires, and another 3-ball drops, this time for Stankavicius.
Yeah, shooting the ball incredibly well.
Here's Johnson the other end, looking to go to the basket, puts it up and in. And that is some much needed points for the Bristol Flyers.
Yeah, it's a tough shot, but again, very tough shot, contested. Takes a good bit of individual skill.
Here's Basleek backing down Ollison. Hook shot, puts it up, no good. Rebound for Smith. Ollison brings it up over the half court. Guarded by Basleek. Ball into Smith. Just slips out of his hands. And again, miscommunication on the offensive end for the Bristol Flyers. Stankovic all the way to the basket. Offensive rebound is no good from Romanchenko, but it will stay with Siauliai. Just over 3 minutes to go in this first quarter. Flyers find themselves in a hole early on as Trajan Jacob enters the game for the first time, and he's a guy that has the potential to change a game.
Certainly does, and Coach Kapoulis will be looking for Trajan Jacob to add something offensively.
Van der Plas fires up for three. His triple no good. Rebound ends up with Leslie Smith. Smith. Now Mollison. Thought about the three. Gets it back to Smith. Smith brings it up to the elbow. Shot clock down to 10. Another mid-range jumper for the Flyers. It's great defense by Siauliai.
Yeah, again, forcing that difficult shot on the run. It was sort of like a running jump shot, really, wasn't it? Keely unable to get it to go.
Keith's three is an air ball. Offensive rebound by Siauliai, though. Basleek to the basket. Easy layup off the glass.
Yeah, just the way he sort of moved the ball around there in his motion to the basket, making it difficult for a Bristol Fly player to try and block it or steal it.
Jacob, guarded by Van der Plas. Smith at the elbow, fires up the mid-range two, and this time knocks it down. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Flyers trailing by 14 points on the night. Basleek into Van der Plas. Extra pass. Another triple on the way for Siauliai. It's got cold in these last few possessions from downtown. Jacob on the wing, guarded by Basleek. Petey Johnson. Hard hedge on the screen by Van der Plas. Smith will fire for three this time. He can't get it to go. Flyers crashing the offensive rebound, and it ends up with the Bristol Flyers possession. I think Siauliai were looking to go to the video review here, and the officials have just had a conversation and just overturned the call. I think it was the right call in the end.
Yeah. You see them making a sign for the TV review, the VAR.
Of course, both coaches do have the opportunity to challenge in this competition.
But they said it didn't look like they want to go for that. The referees got together and made the right decision. Siauliai ball.
Stankovic finds Van der Plas. Screen comes from Romanchenko. Is that going to be another offensive foul? I've seen a few of these called in the game so far this afternoon.
And I think, going back to the first game, an awful lot of that play was let go. I felt there was a lot of sort of moving screen. It was almost refereed a little bit differently, I felt, in the first game. There was an awful lot of screens like that that were sort of let go, but this group of referees here a bit hotter on having the screens set properly.
It was an extremely physical game in that first leg down at the SGS College Arena. It almost plays into the Bristol Flyers' hands a little bit more. They are a very physical team in the British Basketball League this season. It's a great block in the end by Armand, and I think Raf Thomas Edwards just stepped on the baseline. So the ball will go back to Siauliai. Yeah,
it was a great read by Armand. Knew sort of Raf was sort of getting closer to that baseline. As soon as he picked it up, came hard with that double team.
Going to be a foul called on Ollison. I think that's going to be his second personal foul. Yeah, it is. And a frustrating one for him. He will head to the bench as Levi Bradley looks to return to the game. Going to send them to the line as well because Bristol Flyers are in a penalty. So not only has Tevin Ollison picked up his second personal, but also they'll go from one end of the floor to the other to shoot a pair of free throws. Well, Daniel Basleek at the line, just 23 years old, now in his third season with BC Siauliai. You mentioned he had 9 points in the first leg against the Flyers, also had 5 assists. Certainly proven to be one of those role players. That's exactly what the team needs him to do out there on the court.
Yeah, he certainly did, and you know, I couldn't help but notice that it was the Tevin Olesen that fouled Bastic again, and it kind of feels that, you know, he just sort of gets into his head a little bit and picks up a really important foul for Tevin Olesen, who has to take a seat. Yeah, he's that sort of guy that just offers something different to your team, and there he is again, you know, trying to make it difficult. We're taking the charge. It's a blocking foul though.
I think the Flyers are in the bonus here, so they will head to the line for the shooter pair. It will be Keely Johnson who will. Was that the last team foul? No, he is going to shoot 2 free throws here. Just over 40 seconds to go in this first quarter. Of course, Flyers, they're already trailing by 8 points after the first leg, and it's not been the start they would have been looking for out in Siauliai in this second leg so far, Gareth.
No, Siauliai have looked good for their lead. I've got to say, you know, both ends of the floor making it very difficult for the Flyers, and some great individual play from Siauliai, but they sort of nice mix it up with some good team play as well. It's a nice sort of balance that, you know, they'll get a score if things are sort of struggling, go through their sets. They've got some individual talent that can get some hoops. But again, they'll go through the motions, and, you know, wide open shot there, and lucky for it not to go down.
Vasilev's triple no good. Long rebound falls to Keely Johnson. Nice pass into Leslie Smith. What a dime. And Leslie Smith finishes.
Yeah, tough finish from Leslie. You know, full speed there, able to get it to go. Much needed basket. 9 seconds left in this first quarter.
Shot clock is turned off. Here's Armand. Guided by Johnson. Deep 3-ball on the way. Off the back iron. Offensive rebound for Van der Plas. Good if it goes. And I think that's going to do it for the end of the first quarter. I think the basket will be waved off in the end. They'll probably take a look at this, I imagine, at the end of the first quarter. But at the end of one, as it stands, Siauliai 27, the Flyers 15.
Yeah, I'm sure if that was a bit of a tighter game, they might have had a look at that one again, because kind of, from my perspective, it looked like that might have been okay, but referees waved it off, and I think with such a good lead at the moment, they'll probably save that review for maybe later on in the game.
Oh, here's a look at the first quarter highlights, and Sean Armand, we spoke about him, you know, being a new signing for Siauliai. 11 first quarter points for him, and he really put his stamp on this one, especially from behind the 3-point line.
Yeah, exactly. Sort of not hesitating, feeling pretty comfortable straight away, but yeah, showing his range, some good ball handling skills there, and just pulling up from deep. That's a tough shot.
We haven't seen any appearance from LJ Thorpe just yet in this game, but you know, Siauliai, that you look at the 3-point field goal percentage, they're 5 for 11 as a team. They're shooting 45% from beyond the arc, and that's where the most of their damage has been done in this first quarter.
Yeah, they had a nice little spell, didn't they, of knocking down a ton of shots here, and just all sort of in rhythm, isn't it? It's, you know, as you said, this man here with the ball, just setting things up nicely, and, you know, big pull-up shots, moving the ball around, just seems a bit too comfortable, really. I'm sure Coach Kapoulas will want to sort of get in their faces a little bit more. Otherwise, you know, it's going to be very, very difficult to get back into the game, let alone the tie.
It's a 12-point lead now on the night, which puts it up to 20 points on aggregate for Siauliai. The Flyers, they did come back from 17 points down at SGS in the first leg, so there's still plenty of chance for Flyers to work their way back into this one, but they've got to do it bit by bit.
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to get it back straight away, but I think defensively has got to be the key here. You really feel that's the end of the floor, which, you know, Coach Kapoulas prides himself on his defensive effort. That's really going to have to step up. And, you know, the old cliche, offense from defense, you know, get a few stops, get a few steals, get a few, you know, defensive rebounds, look to push the ball, get it in transition, and try and get a few easy points. Because at the moment it's been hard graft, I'd say, for the Bristol Flyers in this first quarter.
Well, of course, the winner of this aggregate series will advance to the Final Four to take on the Bakken Bears after they made it through the second leg against the spirited Newcastle Eagles. Come back in the second leg of the ENBL playoff quarter-final. Newcastle trailed after the first leg at the Virtue Motors Arena by 5. They were able to force overtime. They took a lead of their own in the extra period, and then Bakken were able to hold strong in the end. But they will meet the winner of this series. Here's Trajan Jacob with an open 3-ball, and he knocks it down.
A great start to the second quarter, and I think that's the energy Coach Kapoulas will be looking for
Basleek from the elbow, no good. Rebound by Leslie Smith. Johnson now. Smith hands back to Keedy Johnson. Levi Bradley on the wing. Shot clock into single figures. Bradley, a turnaround fadeaway. I think it's blocked by Van der Plas. Incredible. Armand pushing in transition. 3-ball on the way. No good by Siauliai. Long rebound falls to Johnson. Keedy Johnson spins in the lane. It's going to be a foul called against Basleek. But yeah, it's one of those ones that just wrapped him up there.
Yeah, not much of a play on the ball, was it? It just sort of seemed to grab him to slow him down, really. Be careful of that. Didn't look like there was much attempt to get the ball.
Johnson takes a screen from Smith. Splits the defense. What a move from Keedy Johnson. And he finishes with the left hand.
That's such a tough move, just sort of skipping past 3 Siauliai defenders. But again, hard work isn't nothing easy. But, you know, 7 points now are chipping away at this.
5-0 Flyers run to start this second quarter. Armand coming off the screen, looking for Pavelka inside, and Flyers come away with it. Jacob pushing down the lane. It's going to be a foul called, and again, Flyers with another chance to chip away at this lead from the free throw line.
And it's coming, you know, from the defense, able to get out, get stops, push the ball. There's a good start to the Bristol Flyers. Looking to get back into this tie.
And that's exactly what we spoke about during the quarter break, Gareth. I mean, Flyers, their offense, it comes from their hard work on the defensive end, and you know, you can see it straight away. A 5-0 run so far. Jacob at the line, chance to make it a 7-0 run, and you know, it's been Bristol Flyers basketball. You know, turning defense into offense, getting those fast break points.
Yeah, definitely. You know, that intensity, that high tempo play really suits the Bristol Flyers, and Siauliai felt just a bit too easy in that first quarter. You know, Bristol not really in their face, able to get the shots they were looking for. You know, some tough shots, don't get me wrong, some good individual shots, but I think coach will just want that bit more energy, get out and run, play some defense, get some easy scores.
Jacob no good on the second. It's a 6-0 run for the Flyers to start this second period. Armand swings, extra pass. Menakis gets it inside to Van der Plas. Good defense again from the Flyers. The shot clock's down to 3. Armand has to shoot here with the shot clock winding down. And it's going to be another turnover by Siauliai. Flyers ball. We feel a shift in momentum in this second quarter in favour of the Bristol Flyers. Still trailing this one by 6.
Yeah, just try and capitalise on this good bit of play from Bristol Flyers. Try and make the most of their ascendancy to get back into this tie.
Johnson, Bradley's calling for it inside, gets it in the end, puts it up, puts it in, and count it. And Levi Bradley or Gudler line for a 3-point play.
Yeah, been quite quiet, Levi Bradley, but that's a massive play there. Going to that left hand with the one, putting Siauliai in a bit of pressure, and timeout Siauliai.
And now it's Siauliai looking to talk things through, because Bristol Flyers have scored the last 8 points of the opening 8 points of the second quarter. Momentum's well and truly in their favour right now, and they've been doing it at both ends of the court. Here's a look at some of the key plays from the second quarter so far in this run. And here's some of the plays in the first quarter, in fact. And yeah, as you say, Armand really doing his business inside early on. But Bristol have got a good response in the second quarter, Gareth.
Yeah, absolutely. Taking full advantage. Siauliai not coming out as well as they did in the first quarter. Bristol Flyers taking full advantage, some really good defence, getting out in transition, putting pressure on the Siauliai defence, and that's just freeing a few players up to get about their business. You know, Levi Bradley with his, you know, trademark sort of dribble to the middle of the court and that pull up, getting that and 1, getting some good fast break opportunities, but all coming from that hustle on defence, able to get themselves back in the game.
Keedy Johnson now up to 6 points to lead the way for Bristol Flyers. He's got 3 rebounds and 2 assists as well. There's 3 other players on 4 points apiece. Brad Green, Trajan Jacob and Leslie Smith. Of course, one of the big stories from the first quarter has been that early foul trouble for Tevin Ollison, though, picking up those 2 early fouls, and that could be crucial as this game winds on.
Brad Green as well, both of them on 2. So, getting 2 key players of the Flyers sat down. But there's 5 on court now, really putting some good Flyers basketball on display.
Well, Levi Bradley earns himself a trip to the line for the bonus. For second spell with the club, 13 points and 3 rebounds per game so far this season, back with the Flyers. And he's able to convert on the bonus to make it a 9-0 run to start this second quarter for the Flyers. Armand, another 3-pointer on the way. It's blocked by Smith. Ball inside to Romanchenko. He can't get it to go. And again, the Flyers come up with a defensive stop.
Yeah, that's good play in favour of Bristol Flyers. A couple of goes at it. Siauliai didn't come away with anything. And Bristol Flyers potentially could tie the game here.
3-pointer on the way for Jacob. Off the glass and in.
Why not?
And it's a tie ball game in Siauliai.
Doesn't matter, does it?
Flyers still with that 8-point deficit to make up, though. Yeah. They've been able to rally back from an early double-digit deficit. Can they do it one more time? Armand. Another 3-pointer on the way. Menakis is triple no good. It's going to be a foul away from the ball on Raf Thomas Edwards, as Basleet was trying to grab the offensive rebound. And here you see that, there you see the foul even, just away from the ball. 7 minutes to go in this first half. Tie ball game on the night. Flyers down 8 on aggregate. Armand looking to inbound the ball, gets it into Danny Savicius in the end. Back to Armand. Fires up a triple, he can't get it to go. And Thomas Edwards with the board. Chance for Flyers to take the lead on the night here. Jacob, another 3-ball on the way, why not? Can't get it to go, but there's Raf Thomas Edwards doing what he does best, crashing the offensive rebounds. And Trajan Jacob just can't get the follow to go. Opportunity to take the lead there, missed by the Flyers. Danny Savicius, back to Armand. Ball screen comes from Romanchenko. 5 on the shot clock. Armand has to shoot with the shot clock winding down. He's short. Another rebound falls to the Flyers, this time for Leslie Smith. It's his 5th rebound of the game. Johnson fakes the 3, kicks it out. Extra pass to Levi Bradley, all the way to the basket. And Bristol Flyers have cut it down to a 6-point lead in aggregate.
Great play, Bristol Flyers. Plenty of patience there. Keedy Johnson, who will shot fake drive, draws a defender in, kicks it out, move the ball around. And Levi Bradley with a finish.
It is a 14-0 run for the Flyers to start this second quarter. And that is a much-needed 3 from Siauliai as Menakis drains it.
Yeah, big shot needed that. Bristol Flyers taking the lead for the first time. Siauliai with the reply. But what a comeback from the Flyers in this second quarter.
Here's Jacob. Here's Jacob for 3, knocks it down again. Another 3-ball falls for the Flyers and they retake the lead.
Yeah, just coming up to the halfway mark in this second quarter. Flyers up 32-30.
Another 3-ball from Siauliai in response, but it rebounds tipped out to Johnson. Good transition defense on Keedy Johnson. Bradley off the glass, able to draw the foul. See the frustration on him there, just felt like he could have made that shot as well, but we'll send him to the line to shoot too.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you have too many complaints about that. Defensive player, arm all over Levi Bradley. And he'll find himself going to the line. See, free throws, again, were really important in the first leg. Bristol Flyers struggling a little bit from the free throw line. So these are going to be crucial.
Well, Levi Bradley is a 77% free throw shooter in the British Basketball League this season. And he comes up short on the first. Chance to extend it to 3 points on the night. This would be the closest that Flyers have been in this aggregate tie. And it will be a Siauliai ball. 5 points is the gap on aggregate now. Keith, guarded by Thomas Edwards. Shaq Keith driving inside, kicks it out to Danu Savicius. Menakis fires up for three, can't get it to go. Long rebound, ends up with Shaquille Keith. Oh, and it's stolen away by the Flyers. Lucas pushing in transition, pulls it back out. Thomas Edwards is wide open inside in for three, able to get it back though. He can't convert on the layup, and there's Levi Bradley on the follow. The Bristol Flyers crashing the offensive glass and scoring second chance points.
Yeah, exactly. How many times we talk about it, but Bristol Flyers crashing the boards, really making those second opportunities count.
It's 3 on aggregate as it's a nice move in the end by Armand in response. Flyers looking to respond the other way. Bradley for three, ball goes in and out. And the rebound ends up with Romanchenko. Armand, guarded by Lucas, and going to be a foul called. You just watch Armand, just his ability to just draw the defenders in there and fight through contact as well, and certainly showing Siauliai why they brought him into the club.
Really sort of stocky point guard, but really quick at his strength. Good centre gravity there, able to shift around quite a lot. Very difficult to guard.
Well, it's going to be Siauliai ball from the baseline. They're trailing this game by 3 points on aggregate. 3 points on the night, 5 points on aggregate. Armand to inbound. Pavelka with the screen. Armand, another three ball on the way, splashes it. And 16 first half points for Sean Armand. Lucas
nice
inside
pass
to Brad Green, beautiful dime. And Brad Green with the finish. Armand brings it up over the half court. Guarded closely by T-John Lucas. Screen from Pavelka. Danu Savicius. Extra pass. Menakis for three. He knocks it down. And a pair of back-to-back threes from Siauliai put them back in front.
Yeah, Siauliai so good at spacing the floor, moving it around.
Bradley off the glass, can't convert, but again, Flyers crashing the offensive boards. And they retake the lead on the night. Three minutes to go in the first half. Shaq Keith to the basket, can't get it to go. Rebound ends up with Pavelka, and it's stolen by Ollison. It's a 3-on-1 opportunity. Ollison, deep three ball off the back iron. Another offensive rebound by the Flyers. Ollison this time looking to weave his way through traffic, and it's stripped away by Shaq Keith. Keith to the hole, draws the foul, puts it in. And Shaquille Keith will go to the line for a bonus.
Yeah, that's an incredibly tough move, just splitting both defenders there with the contact, able to finish, and that is a big-time play by Shaquille Keith.
Well, it's gone back and forth these last few possessions. The lead's been changing hands on the night, and just when Flyers, you felt like they were going on that run to close the aggregate gap, Siauliai have a response. They knocked down back-to-back threes, and it's been a really exciting game of basketball so far.
It's been great to watch. Again, you know, the first leg was a great game, this as well, and Siauliai, just the way they mix up that individual play with that team play as well is really very difficult to defend, because they got the ability to go one-on-one, but there, on the same token, they move that ball around with that great spacing, knocking down that three. Really good to watch, but Bristol Flyers, full credit to these guys getting back into the game.
Lucas, he will fire up a three, can't get it to go. Rebound ends up with Keith. 2 minutes and change to go in the first half. Keith takes a screen from Pavelka. Back top to Armand. Pavelka calling for it inside. He's got a mismatch and it's stripped away by the Flyers.
Yeah, well read by Lucas.
Lucas. Now, Keedy Johnson on the wing. His three can't drop, but another offensive rebound by the Bristol Flyers. This time it's T-John Lucas.
Yeah, Lucas getting involved as well. Siauliai just not boxing out at all, and Bristol Flyers, you feel if they chase it down that one of them will get the offensive putback.
Good hustle from Keedy Johnson. No foul called, say the officials. Pavelka nowhere to go, but finds Keith in the end. Great pass. He just had position inside, and honestly, it's going to be a technical foul called on Shaquille Keith for the celebration as well.
Yeah, Siauliai getting a bit frustrated. They feel there's a lot of contact. I think the big man there, he was sort of throwing his elbows around a little bit as well. Might have done well to avoid getting any technicals there, but Siauliai getting a bit frustrated.
Well, I think Coach Abunas was looking for some fouls there.
Yep.
I mean, for the Flyers, they're playing full court pressure. You saw the expression, sort of grabbing his wrist and saying, look, they're slapping down. And I think that Shaquille Keith outburst was a bit of frustration there as well, which resulted in that technical foul.
But I've got to say, Siauliai definitely on the cleanest on defence either. A lot of hands, sort of wrap around and sort of calls that have been let go. So I think it's sort of similar both ways.
Well, all tied up at 42 points apiece. Minute and a half to go in this first half. It means that Flyers are still trailing this one in aggregate by 8. Lucas. Here's Levi Bradley, guarded by Van der Plas. Bradley backing down. Lefty floater no good. Offensive rebound by Green. And again, Flyers with the offensive rebound, but unable to convert second chance points. And Tevin Ollison picks up his third.
Yeah, Coach Kapoulis there, you don't want to give a technical foul away. You know, the referee's really looking for sort of players. They've given one for Siauliai, so I'm sure they won't need much of an invitation to balance things up a little bit with a tech for the Flyers.
It's going to be Stankavicius to inbound. Here's Armand. Got 16 first half points to his name. Stankavicius into Pavelka. Double team comes. Lefty finish. Nice move. Thomas Pavelka gets it to go off the glass.
Yeah, strong move from Pavelka. Good seal on Brad Green. Got such long limbs, isn't he? Just able to step around. Good finish.
Johnson thought about the three. Keith as well to get his hand in the passing lane. And it will stay with Bristol Flyers with the shot clock at 10. Leslie Smith's getting set to return to the game. Brad Green will take a seat. 2 personal fouls for Brad Green so far in this one. Lucas into Jacob. Oh, they've just fallen asleep on the defensive end. And a pair of easy ones for Trajan Jacob. Armand. Around 6-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock, and Keedy Johnson draws the offensive foul. And again, that's something we spoke about in the build-up. It's the stuff that doesn't show up on the stat sheet that makes him so valuable to this Bristol Flyers team.
He mops the floor as well.
Does it all out there, doesn't he?
He can't get enough of the action out there. But yeah, you feel like he's always guaranteed to get one charge a game, isn't he, Keedy?
He's got 7 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 mop floor to his name.
You definitely don't see that in the stats, do you?
Final possession of this first half. Shot clock is turned off. 10 seconds to go in the second. Lucas. Johnson. Screen comes from Smith. Johnson splits the defense. Bradley for 3. Can't get it to go on the buzzer. And that will do it for the first half. It's as you were here at the Siauliai Arena, all tied up at 44 points apiece. We'll have halftime reaction from former Flyers captain Gareth Till right after the break.
I won't stop, won't stop. You can try, but I won't stop, won't stop.
Eleven started as a vending machine idea that would hold spaces for local products and startups, but over time it's developed into a lot more. The more we learn about the impact that we can have on the local community is the more that we've brainstormed new ways on how to add value to the brands that we represent. It's important for us to use the platform to create opportunities in the lives of real people. We really can't wait for the future at Eleven to unfold, and we look forward to you joining us on the journey.
No one goes further than ATPI to get our customers and understand what you need. We know that different people, in different roles, in different industries, need different things. And you want a specialist to deliver what really matters. We know the way your business works and what you need to get the job done. We're on call at any time, getting your teams almost anywhere. When the trip goes from A to B to Z, we make it hassle-free. At ATPI, our purpose is clear. Through our group of specialist businesses, ATPI Corporate Travel, Marine Travel and Energy Travel, Mining Travel, Events, Sports Travel and Direct ATPI, we will deliver what really matters to you and your organisation. ATPI, delivering what really matters.
Welcome back to Flyers TV, powered by ATPI. We're at the half-time break, and it's As You Were, Flyers 44, Siauliai 44. Gareth, chance to decompress from that first half. What did you make of it?
Well, another really great, it's a really good game, entertaining to watch. You know, you sort of feared the worst in the first quarter again. Siauliai coming out to that really strong lead, and you're thinking, you know, Bristol Flyers have dug themselves into another big hole again to get out of, but rallied back in that second quarter. You know, much improved defensive effort. That led to some good transitions, some easier baskets. And right back in the game, we said as you were, and it's all set up for an exciting game. And if Bristol Flyers could put a run together at the right time, the game's there. It's possible to do it.
The Flyers led by as many as 5 points in that game, which was just 3 points down on aggregate. So it just shows that they're right there within touching distance. It's just, can they go on that final run that's necessary to retake the lead in the tie?
Exactly, and that's going to be the big question in this second half is can they do it defensively? You know, Siauliai probably put too many points on the board really in that first quarter, making it difficult. So you can't afford that to happen in the third and fourth quarter. Got to try and, you know, it's easy, obviously very easy to say that, but you know, can't let that lead get out to such a big deficit, or get themselves in that deficit to give them such a mountain to climb in this second half.
Well, let's take a look at the story from the first half. And as you say, Siauliai raced out to that early lead. Sean Armand had 16 first quarter points. Incredible from him, getting it done from all over the court.
Yeah, very, very good pickup, really, isn't he? Completely at home, you know, as if he's been there all season, really, the way he's played out there. But yeah, you know, first time Bristol Flyers had a look at him to play against, and yeah, he picked himself a good player there, and he was a main reason why Siauliai had such a strong first quarter.
And the Flyers, they responded with a run of their own. 14-0 run to start the second quarter, and a lot of their offence was coming from the defensive end. Points out in transition, they're crashing the offensive glass. It was what we sort of know as being Flyers basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. It kind of fell straight into the stereotype of the second quarter for the Bristol Flyers. You know, able to get out in transition, crashing the boards. and Siauliai, you know, calling a quick timeout themselves. Flyers get on that nice run in that second quarter, and then it's been a bit of back and forth, you know, for the last sort of few minutes of that second quarter.
Levi Bradley leads the way for Bristol Trayvon Jacob leads the way for Bristol off the bench. 12 points for him. Levi Bradley not far behind on 10, and Trayvon Jacob is one of those games where you don't really know what kind of game to expect from him, but when he's shooting the ball like he is in this game so far, good things happen for Bristol Flyers.
Yeah, definitely. He's a player that can get hot and hurry, very streaky shooter, but if he gets going and that confidence is up there, and that just opens up his game, driving to the basket and everyone else's game, and you know, that sort of unpredictability can be, you know, a real menace for defensive matchups, because he can get hot in a hurry.
Foul trouble's been key for Bristol Flyers. I mean, Brad Green's seen early foul trouble, and Tevin Ollison 3 fouls in the first half.
Yeah, exactly. Ollison sort of. Was it Beshlik? Yeah, they'll have renewing their sort of acquaintances from the first quarter. Had a good battle there, and Ollison with 3 fouls, which is massive. You know, I feel like, you know, really needs to concentrate. If Bristol Flyers are going to win this game, he's crucial to being a big part of that win. So he just needs to focus on his game and not get involved with what's going on with a defensive player, because he will be crucial if Bristol Flyers to win this game. If he can get going as well, you know, it's going to be a massive plus.
And they need to have that belief as well, don't they, Bristol Flyers? I mean, they've shown they can come back from a 17-point deficit in the first leg. They've shown they can come back from a 10-point deficit in the second game, in the first half of this game. And just if they can go on that run to start the third quarter, we could have ourselves a ball game, you know, down the stretch.
Hey, look, it's all set up. It's there to be done. We're after the first quarter, I think we're both looking at each other going, well, this could be quite difficult to get back into the game, but it's tied up at the half. 8 points, you know, we can see it's possible. It's not sort of, such a task that it's impossible to do. It's very, very possible. They put the run together at the right time. Just, you know, knuckle down defensively. Don't let them sort of get too far ahead if they do take any lead. And just set it up nicely, you know. Then, you know, you can 8 points in 3 or 4 minutes is very easily done. So, it's set up great. You know, just need a strong start to that third quarter.
Well, let's take a look at the key stats from the first half. And when you look down the numbers here, Gareth, what is it that really stands out for you? Because it's quite evenly matched. Obviously, that's not the score right now in the on that. There we go. That's the correct score. When you look down the stats, I mean, very evenly matched so far.
It is. You know, obviously, you know, Siauliai shooting the ball well behind the arc, 40% shooting to Bristol's 27%. So that's always going to be a danger point for Siauliai. They move the ball so well around that perimeter, and they've got shooters that can knock those shots down. You know, free throws big. You know, they struggled in the first leg at home. Bristol Flyers at 75%. You'll be kind of happy with that for sure. And generally everything else is, you know, fairly consistent. You know, Siauliai with 9 turnovers, a good defensive effort from Bristol Flyers, getting Siauliai to turn the ball over 9 times. So yeah, pretty even.
What will be some of the key messages from Coach Kapoulas coming out for this second half then, do you feel? Because it's in touching distance, they just need to execute on the offensive end and really put the clamps on the defensive side.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll sort of make note of the point guard that's come in, you know, how to sort of play against Almond, you know, how they're going to match up against him, because he certainly may have surprised them coming in and having the impact that he has done. So maybe making a few adjustments with him. And really just to try and, you know, stay focused for that next second half. You know, be reminding them that, you know, any sort of, you know, slip up or lack of concentration, you know, they've still set themselves up to win the game and to win the series. So it has to be about concentration, and from the third quarter, get after it and play Flyers basketball, because when they do that in that second quarter, they've given themselves a great chance and come back from a fairly big hole.
And how impressed have you been with Armand? Because, of course, you know, it's not easy as a new player to come into a team, but, you know, to make your first European appearance for the club in the playoffs, 16 first half points as well. It's incredibly difficult to do.
Yeah, exactly. Especially as a point guard as well, coming into a team and, you know, running the plays, and perhaps he's so new that he doesn't really know many of the plays anyway, so he's just balling out there anyway and just passing the ball, just keeping it simple, which is great anyway, you know, just to see that. But yeah, he's made some big shots. You know, obviously feels comfortable, and the reason why, you know, Siauliai have brought him into the team, they wanted that kind of player to come in, not to grow or develop with them, but to come in and have an impact. And boy, he's certainly done that.
Well, fingers crossed, the Flyers, they see one more push to make it through to the ENBL playoff Final Four. They're still trailing by 8 points heading into the second half out in Lithuania. And Gareth and I will have second half action coming up for you after the break.
Is watching basketball at 3 in the morning enough? No, of course not. So you always wanted to be part of the team. Your own basketball club. In your own backyard. What if I said you could? ENBL. 9 European countries, 15 pro teams, 60 games a season. The fastest growing basketball league in Europe. In the arena, on TV, or streaming live on your phone. Reach out to us and join the ENBL family. ENBL, right here in your backyard.
No one goes further than ATPI to get our customers and understand what you need. We know that different people, in different roles, in different industries, need different things. And you want a specialist to deliver what really matters. We know the way your business works and what you need to get the job done. We're on call at any time, getting your teams almost anywhere. When the trip goes from A to B to Z, we make it hassle-free. At ATPI, our purpose is clear. Through our group of specialist businesses, ATPI Corporate Travel, Marine Travel and Energy Travel, Mining Travel, Events, Sports Travel and Direct ATPI. We will deliver what really matters to you and your organisation. ATPI, delivering what really matters.
Welcome back to Flyers TV, powered by ATPI. We're all set for third quarter action between Bristol Flyers and BC Siauliai of Lithuania. All tied up at 44 points apiece. It's an 8-point gap on aggregate. And can Bristol Flyers pull off the comeback? They've got 20 minutes to do so. It's a meeting in the Final Four against Backham Bears up for grabs. And Gareth, I mean, we spoke about it in the half-time build-up, but important. This could be an important stretch here to start the third quarter. You feel that whichever team goes on that all-elusive run could really determine how this second half and this series is going to play out.
Yeah, definitely. I think this third quarter could be really important, set the tone of the second half. Bristol Flyers can't afford to get themselves into that hole again if they're become victorious in this game. They've got to get 8 points back, and they don't want to go any further behind.
Siauliai have lost just one game their whole ENBL campaign during the group stage. They finished 7-1 in the group stage of the competition to finish first in the group. Another offensive rebound by Pavelka. A pair of back-to-back boards to start this third quarter. Here's Keith. Shot clock down to 6. Keith to the basket, nice move, and a lefty finish, right-handed finish.
Yeah, big play by Keith, and He's certainly got it in his locker to make some big shots. Talking of big shots,
Trajan Jacob right on cue, and coach is furious.
Yeah, coach is furious with that.
Another steal by Jacob. How about it? Another one off the back iron this time. And Lucas chases down the rebound, and if that one had dropped, I feel that would have been a real momentum shifter, Gareth.
Yeah, coach is certainly having a go at Keith there as well. Felt he was responsible there, but that was a massive shot in response.
Oh, it's knocked loose by Jacob, but it's going to stay with Siauliai. Promising signs to start this third quarter for Bristol. Bit of full court pressure, and it's easily broken out of in the end, and it's stolen back by the Flyers, though.
Another turnover for Siauliai. He had a few issues with turnovers in the first half.
Johnston able to draw the foul on Stankavicius. It's the first team foul of the third quarter.
Yeah, and you knew exactly what was doing with that foul as well. Slowing Johnson down.
Lucas. Into Green. Backing down Pavelka. Turnaround hook is good for Brad Green.
And good to see Brad Green adding to his total. Been fairly quiet this game, got some good position. Obviously limited minutes in that first half due to foul trouble.
It's back down to 5 points on aggregate. Stankavicius. Oh, it's knocked loose by the Flyers. It is knocked loose by the Flyers. And Keely Johnson has an open lane to the basket. Can't control it. Great transition defense in the end by Siauliai to knock it out of bounds. They're right on the cusp here, Bristol Flyers. 8.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Trailing this one by 5 on the aggregate. Ball into Bradley. Here's Lucas. Big possession here for Flyers. Green, again, another hook shot.
Automatic.
And it's down to 3 on aggregate.
Goodness me, just no stopping that.
Jack Keith. Looking for a screen from Pavelka. Armand driving to the basket. It's wrapped up by Tijon Lucas, and that's a smart foul in the end by him to really to wrap up the play there.
Yeah, exactly. He had opportunity to get the ball. He saw it sort of pop out. The big grab over the arms. And go to the line for a couple.
Now, Sean Armand at the line. 16 first half points for him. He actually started his season playing out in China before joining BC Siauliai.
Yeah.
10-year pro, his 10th season as a professional. Spells in France, Germany, Turkey, Spain. I mean, the list keeps coming. He's an experienced player overseas, and really bringing that experience to the ENBL and BC Siauliai.
Yeah, and of course, you know, by admission, Thorpe that had such a strong game for Siauliai in the first sort of leg of this game isn't here. He's not on the roster, so I don't know if he's still with the team.
Jacob for 3. Count it, and a foul. And Trajan Jacob will go to the line for a 4-point play.
Massive shot. And that'll help extend the Flyers' lead. And it's almost too early to start getting excited. There's a long way to go in this game.
Well, they've got the belief there, the Bristol Flyers. They're on the cusp. And Trajan Jacobs knocking down threes like that. Anything can happen. And he completes the bonus free throw as well. 4-point play is good for him. It's a 1-point gap on aggregate. Van der Plas.
Kick ball from Keely Johnson. That'll put the shot clock back to 14.
Stankavicius is going to inbound here from the sideline. Ball into Romanchenko. Armand settles for a mid-range 2. Rattles around the rim and gets the drop. Huge shot for him. Now up to 20 points on the night. Jacob fakes the 3, pulls up for a mid-range 2, can't get it to go. Rebound forced to Stankavicius, and it's going to be a foul on Trajan Jacob.
Yeah, I don't mind that foul from Trajan Jacob there. You feel that Showlai were off to the races there, able to slow it down. Trajan Jacob. Didn't see how many fouls that was on him. Maybe his second foul.
Just the first foul, in
First
fact.
foul. Good foul.
Armand. Romanchenko hands back to Armand. Keith driving inside. Shot clock is down to 3 seconds here. Showlai have to go to work. It's going to be a foul. It's going to be on Levi Bradley. That's one of those frustrating ones. You know, you play 23 and a half great seconds of defense and then take the bump there as the shot clock was winding down.
Yeah, he did well to sell it as well, though, to be fair. It was good as, you know, smart play. Find a Showlai player there. He said crucial, every bucket count now.
Tevin Ollison will return to the game. Of course, he had 3 fouls in the first half, so didn't feature too much in the first 20 minutes. Just 3 points to his name. First free throw is good for Stankavicius. Knocks down the second as well. Here's Ollison. Back top to Keely Johnson. Jacob looking to get open on the wing. Brad Green pulling for it inside. Backing down Romanchenko. Skip pass almost stolen away by Keith. Ollison with a running floater, overcooks it, and the rebound is batted down into the hands of Armand. Armand guarded by Ollison. Screen from Romanchenko. Armand looking to go one-on-one now. All about the 3. Stankavicius floats it up and floats it in. And just like that, Showlai have worked their way back into this game and made it a 1-point tie.
Yeah, really good basketball actions there from Showlai. Tough finish. But yeah, played some good defense, Showlai.
Ball into Brad Green, puts it on the floor. Nice pass to find Ollison. Hook shot is good. Friendly roll. Armand looking to go the other way. Van der Plas is 3, no good. It's going to be a foul called on the box out.
I think it might be on Tevin Ollison again, is it?
It is going to be a foul on Ollison, I believe. Referee holding number 2 up to the table with a push, and that's going to be his 4th personal foul, Gareth.
Yeah, we'll just see what Coach Capoulas will do. Look into the bench. Just the bump there on the offensive rebound. Yeah.
And you see the way that the game's being officiated between the first leg and the second leg. I mean, the first leg, we watched it on Flyers TV, very physical game at the SGS College Arena. This one, nice pass, and Shaquille Keith finishes. The Flyers just caught napping on the defensive end there.
Exactly. And those plays are going to be huge.
7 points is the gap now on aggregate. Johnson thought about the 3. Back to Jacob. He will shoot the 3. Overcooks the triple that time and rebounded by Van der Plas. Field Flyers are just settling for a few long-range jumpers here in this third quarter.
Yeah, this unit that Showlai have got on defensively are very, very good, making it really difficult. That athleticism, that length, really sort of stifling Bristol Flyers at the moment. He said taking those sort of longer shots, those more difficult shots, nothing coming easy.
Johnson. Screen comes from Green. Skip past to Jacob, fakes the 3. Nice move. And Trajan Jacob just weaves his way through traffic.
Yeah, that is a tough move. So how good the Showlai defense is and making Jacob work for every inch of that point.
Down by 5 now on aggregate is the Flyers. Keith. Guarded by Lucas. Van der Plas now. Armand. Round the back pass to Van der Plas. Ends up putting it on the floor. What a move. Can't get it to finish though. Shot clock expires and Flyers can break here. There's a foul called on Keith. Flyers, they have numbers in the transition. Well, I say they had numbers, they had 3 players back. I watching the replay.
I was going to say, I saw Siauliai back on defence, so I don't think they had too many numbers back. But
it was good transition defence at the end.
It was, they did get back. Yeah.
Seen a couple of times just broken up plays though, Gareth. The game's starting to feel a lot more physical, very much like we saw in that first leg in Bristol. Jacob, open for 3. High arcing jumper, it's way off the mark, and it trickles out of bounds.
Yeah. Tough shot, great when those ones knock down. But yeah, going to try and move the ball a little bit. Get Brad Green involved. Velka's off the court.
Arman to the basket. It's far too easy, but he blows the layup. The rebound grabbed in by Levi Bradley. Lucas pulls it back out. Screen from Green. Slips the screen. Bradley, extra pass. Now Johnson on the wing. Driving inside. Skip pass to Jacob, and I think he stepped on the sideline.
Travel called.
Or travel, yeah, called in the end. And Trajan Jacob looks baffled. Raf Thomas Edwards returns to the game for the Bristol Flyers. They lead this tie by 3. And they are still down by 5 on aggregate. Arman. Screen comes from Romanchenko. Pass leak. Nice pass inside to Romanchenko. The hook shot. Once, twice. Couldn't get the drop, and a foul is called away from the ball.
Yeah, pushing the back again, I think.
And they've been very consistent about that call today, the officials. I mean, any kind of push, any kind of physicality under the bucket, very quick to pick up on that, and they are calling it both ways as well.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, very much so, Joel. It's been very consistent.
Under 3.5 minutes to go in this third quarter. Johnson. Thomas Edwards takes the 3, and he does step on the baseline. You've seen that a couple of times, and yeah, you see his right foot just go back on the sideline even. And
it's quite a common thing, when you have that shot fake, you almost, if you're looking to drive, you always put that kind of one of the foot back to try and push off, then to drive forward, and you do see that quite often after a shot fake.
Armand Van der Plas for 3, overcooks the triple. Rebound Thomas Edwards. Under 3 minutes to go. Nice pass to Brad Green, leaking out in transition.
Yeah, Brad Green's the key here. I really feel they can get the ball into him a little bit more often. Siauliai still don't really have an answer for him.
Up to 12 points now is Brad Green. There's a foul called on Raf Thomas Edwards. Whose hand just reaching out there on Dani Savicius.
Is that in the penalty? Bristol Flyers are in the pen.
So we'll send Siauliai to the line to shoot 2. Gareth, almost 70 minutes played in this tie between these two teams. Still very fine margins separating the two sides. And the missed free throw by Basleek as well. I mean, we've seen a number of missed free throws from both teams in this series. And again, those are the fine margins that can determine who makes this Final Four of the ENBL playoffs.
Yeah, definitely, Joel. It's all going to count. And, if I asked Coach Kapoulis if they would be like in this situation yesterday, I'm sure he would have taken it for sure. They've set themselves up.
Well, it's a 4-point deficit on aggregate. Johnson at the line. Again, he steps on the sideline. Couple of back-to-back turnovers exactly the same way.
Missed that shot fake again. Put that foot back, looking to go forward. And that's the foot that's touching the line.
Is that just a concentration thing, do you feel, in this third quarter, Gareth?
It's probably a habit thing, I think, when you sort of that shot fake, you're trying not to put your
a technical foul's been called, I believe. Raf Thomas Edwards just slipped on the floor.
Not sure what that's. Just coach is looking for some explanation.
Must have have been something said. We obviously can't hear it from Bristol, but it will send Keith Johnson to the line here.
He's going to have a little look at it. He's going to see what was occurring. Just try and clear up.
Coach Avunas just wants to get some clarification here from the officials before Keith Johnson shoots the technical free throw. And again, these are the moments, Gareth, where if this does come down to a single possession game, super important to get these calls right. And
it's Bashlik as well. He seems to be involved with these little controversies, doesn't he? Don't know what. Yeah, just looked like Raf slipped over and then T was called. So
interesting to see what the officials make out of this one. They have a conversation over the situation. They're going to have a little look at this as well. I don't know what they're going to be able to look at because we've had a look at it on our replay. And I couldn't quite see what a technical foul was called for, so I guess it was away from the ball. The original call was a technical foul given to, I think it was Bashlik in the end. The officials are having a look at it. We can't actually see what they are looking at right now from the host broadcast.
Certainly nothing obvious that we were looking at, was there, when watching the game?
But 2 minutes, 16 seconds to go in this third quarter. 4-point lead for the Bristol Flyers. 4-point deficit on aggregate. They're halfway there with 12 minutes and change to go in this two-legged series, and it is going to be a technical foul free throw here for Keedy Johnson. So a chance to cut that deficit down to 3, Gareth.
Yeah, I'd love to know what that was for as well. Intrigued to know what that one. But yeah, that's like holding his hand up, so maybe he knew what he did do. They looked back on the replay and felt it was conclusive that it was a technical foul.
Johnson makes no mistakes on the tech. Flyers will get the ball back as well. 5-point lead for the Flyers. They can tie the series with a 3. Lucas. 2 minutes to go in the third. Ball inside to Bradley. Going one-on-one. Fires up a mid-range 2 and knocks it down. The lead is down to 1 on aggregate.
Wow. This is going to be an intense 12 minutes.
Armand. Skip pass. Almost stolen away by the Flyers. Big possession coming up for both teams. Armand looking to drive left, round the back. Kicks out. Danu Savicius for 3. Drains it. And that is a massive 3 for Polis Danu Savicius.
Yeah, such a quick release as well. It fired it straight away. Big shot.
Green calling for it down low. Ends up with Bradley. Lucas calling for it back. Lucas turns the corner. Green calling for it inside. Ends up with him. Nice pass.
Oh, good hands.
And Brad Green off the glass and in.
Yeah, Brad Green, that was not an easy pass. Able to control it, put it back.
Flyers trailing by 2 on aggregate. Danu Savicius again for 3. Back-to-back triples for Polis Danu Savicius.
What a shooter.
Johnson thought about the 3. Lucas swings to Bradley. Extra pass. Thomas Edwards. He will shoot the 3. Can't get it to go. Rebound bounces off the hands of Brad Green. And it will go back to Siauliai. They're right on the cusp here, Gareth. They brought it back to just a single point on aggregate. And then Siauliai responded with a pair of back-to-back triples from Danu Savicius. Right when they needed them most. And now Flyers leading by 3 on the night. Trailing by 5 in the series. Here's Danu Savicius. Going one-on-one with Smith. Kicks it back out. Stankavicius. Bashlik slips on the deck. Both players hustling for a loose ball, and it's going to end up being a foul on Tijon Lucas. You see it there, just diving over the top of Basleek. It's quite an easy call to make in the end. And
certainly was, and that will send him to the free throw line.
Both teams are in the bonus, of course. So Basleek, chance to shoot 2, to cut it down to a 1-point game on the night. No mistakes on the first from Basleek. He's averaged just over 6 points a game in the ENBL this season. 64% free throw shooter. No mistakes on the second as well. And now they've extended the lead to 7 on aggregate. Vinny Bradley to inbound from the baseline, but a full court pressure being shown by the hosts.
Yeah, just 20 seconds left in this third quarter.
Shot clock is turned off. It's Keedy Johnson.
Big possession for Bristol Flyers. I'd love to get away, get something out of this last play of the third quarter.
Johnson. Screen from Smith. Johnson ends up on the deck, kicks it out to Smith. Smith has to shoot with the clock winding down off the glass. Oh! Almost got the drop, but that will do it for the end of the third quarter. Bristol Flyers, they rallied back into the series. They made it just a 1-point advantage on aggregate to Siauliai, but they had a response for the Flyers through a pair of Polas Danusavic's threes. And if you're watching this game at home, you do not want to flip off your TV because this one is going right down to the wire. Incredible.
Yeah, this is not good for your nerves at home if you're watching. Bristol Flyers fans, you know, we're all sat up for an extraordinary fourth quarter. Bristol Flyers making history, trying to get through to the next round of the ENBL trophy.
And you look at the stats from the game so far in this one. I mean, Trajan Jacob with 21 points. Now he's really caught fire in the third quarter. I mean, knocking down those threes we saw at the start of the third quarter. Him getting that 3 to go, getting the steal as well, and almost knocking down the second one. He's really come to play in this game tonight.
Yeah, I mean, and it's, you know, bravery as well to take that responsibility to make those shots. And, you know, he does just go for it like here, just that sort of big pull-up shot, and you can see what that does to the coach. They're absolutely furious with his teammates. That's such a big play, but to have the confidence just to come out and put that one away. But there's our man Brad Green with that hook.
Brad Green now up to 14 points for the Flyers, and you feel like he could be a huge factor for this team down the stretch if Bristol Flyers want to work their way back into the lead on aggregate. I mean, if they win this tie, though, Gareth, and don't win this series on aggregate, it will be a huge win for them.
Yeah.
Because Siauliai have only lost one game all their ENBL campaign this season. I'm sure you know, all the Flyers fans back home, regardless of what does happen in this fourth quarter, will be incredibly proud of the team.
Oh, of course, and they will be anyway for the season they've had. You know, the adversity that they've seen this season as well. I think, you know, you throw that into the mix, the amount of serious injuries that they've had to contend with, and to be in this position, as you said, they've only lost one game so far in the ENBL, and to get a win on the road will be a massive achievement. Of course, they want more than that, though, don't they? They want to have another game in this competition and see if they can get that way to the final.
Well, just 10 minutes separate both of these teams from the ENBL playoff Final Four. Which team will book their tickets at the Final Four at the start of next month? We are underway for the start of the fourth and final quarter. Here's Johnson. Andrew Smith with the screen. Double team comes. Now Bradley. Inside to Smith. Backing down. Oh, it's turned over by Smith. Nakis up top to Stankavicius. Guarded by Jacob. Screen comes from Danusavic's. Another 3-ball on the way. This time is short. A little heat check from him that time. Great pass. What a way to save it from going out of play. They can't quite get hold of the three, though. Another offensive rebound. Here's Van der Plas. Now Stankavicius. Van der Plas again on the wing. Danu Savicius in the post. Menakis. Turnaround fadeaway jumper. Oh, incredibly tough shot by Menakis.
And you got to say, well-deserved 2 points as well. Siauliai working hard for that possession. Several offensive rebounds, moving the ball around. Tough shot.
Tevin Ollison can't get it to go, but puts it in on the follow. Had a lot of time on the bench in this game, Tevin Ollison, with his 4 personal fouls, but straight back into the game with an immediate impact.
Yeah, and you mentioned at half-time, but he could be the player to really open up this game for the Flyers.
Oh, nice move at the other end by Stankavicius. And Siauliai retake the lead on the night. Jacob swings to Johnson. Thought about the three, puts it on the floor. It's going to be a travel against Keely Johnson. And how many times have we seen those, turnovers, whether it be an out-of-bounds play or a travel off the dribble? Be crucial down the stretch.
It's a big call, get that, turn the ball over at such a crucial point of the game. And some of the times you kind of get away with those, not much in it on that travel.
Stankavicius. Pasleak swings it, Menakis for 3, ball goes in and out. Here's Leslie Smith, finds Ollison. Johnson fakes the 3, puts it on the floor. Another travel's called. And you can see him deliberately, he's saying to the referees, look, I'm putting it on the floor before I lift my pivot foot. And you've seen back-to-back plays now where Keely Johnson's called for that travel off the on the first step.
Yeah, and for him it'll be kind of, I've been doing that all season, and call, but twice to get the call back-to-back travels.
And the foul's called on Trajan Jacob. Sold it a bit there, didn't he?
And timeout call, I think, just to settle everyone down a little bit here. Been a bit fractious in the last sort of couple of minutes.
Flyers trailing by 1 on the night, 9 points on aggregate. And as you say, it's been a choppy start to this fourth quarter. A couple of travels called, a couple of fouls called as well. And it's been a very sticky start to this fourth quarter. But here's a look at some of the key plays from the game so far tonight. And Flyers have done well to rally back, but they need to go on one more run here, Gareth.
Exactly. It's almost feel like you've this time at the right moment. They go on a run and try and win the game, but yeah, it's a bit of a scrappy start to the fourth quarter. So much at stake. Of course, everything's going to be questioned.
Well, Siauliai led this game by as many as 16 points in the first half. If you just joined us, Flyers, they rallied back in the third quarter. They made it just a 1 point deficit on aggregate. They haven't taken the lead yet in the series. It's one of those ones, though, there's still plenty of time. They just need to put a run together, and you feel like, Gareth, if they're going to go on that run, now is the time for Bristol Flyers.
I think any time's fine. I don't care where it comes, as long as they get back 8. Take it overtime, that's fine as well. So any time's good.
Well, can the Bristol Flyers go on that one final run, or will Siauliai hold on and punch their tickets to the ENBL Playoff Final 4 for a meeting with the Backham Bears? It's going to be Danu Savicius to inbound from the sideline. Van der Plas. Pasleak. Screen from Danu Savicius. Pasleak looking inside, kicks it back to Van der Plas. Danu Savicius again inside, and it's stolen by Jacob. And Jacob off to the races. Nice move, and he ends up turning it over. And again, Flyers with a careless turnover. Oh, it's stolen back by the Bristol Flyers, though. Bradley can't finish. There's Leslie Smith on the follow. And Flyers able to get the points to go in the end. It's a 1 point lead for them on the night. Down 7 in aggregate. Another foul's called against the Bristol Flyers, and how many times have we seen that tonight, Gareth? I mean, the Flyers, they are a physical team, but we've seen that foul called time and time again. It's important for the players to adjust to that out there.
Yeah, that's the second foul of the quarter, and no doubt, you know, for getting the pen, that's going to be quite important, I think, come the end of the game.
Oh, nice move, and what a finish. Stankavicius with the post move this time. Siauliai retake the lead once again. Johnson, Smith, thought about the three, puts it on the floor.
Call a travel again.
Another travel was called against the Flyers. And there's 3 calls now we've had against the Bristol Flyers for a travel off the dribble. And as you say, you know, they call it once or twice. It's important for the players to pick up on that and adjust accordingly.
Yeah, and the referee, the same referee that's called all 3 of them, I think. He's looking at the footwork.
Basleek. Stankavicius backing down Lucas, and he just loses control of it. Bristol Flyers get it back. 6 minutes and change to go in the fourth. Ollison to inbound from the baseline. Bit of full court pressure being shown by Siauliai. Lucas finds Bradley, open for 3. Can't get it to go. Oh, Brad Green was being held onto there. Here's Basleek. Stankavicius with the screen. Basleek for 3, knocks it down. And that is a huge 3 by Siauliai. Timeout Flyers.
Yeah, it's really sort of taken the momentum, isn't it? I think Siauliai, the defensive in this fourth quarter, really slowed the Flyers down. It's that half-court game. The Bristol Flyers have had their successes. It's been sort of high tempo, momentum, pushing the ball. Siauliai really stifling them offensively.
Yeah, some huge plays down the stretch as well. I mean, the Bristol Flyers, they've struggled to really adjust to the officiating of this game. A few times now they've been called for turnovers, and those fouls called at the top of the three-point line as well. But they're still right there in it. I mean, trailing by 4 points, 6 minutes to go.
Yep.
It's 12 points on aggregate. Yes. We've seen comebacks like this before in Bristol Flyers history. But is this one step too far for Coach Kapoulis' side? Of course, don't forget, Bristol Flyers, they are in action this weekend in the British Basketball League. They return to the SGS. They return to Bristol tomorrow. They travel to Cheshire on Saturday, take on the Cheshire Phoenix for a 5 p.m. tip-off, Saturday Night Hoops. And don't forget, you can watch that game on the British Basketball League YouTube channel. Well, Gareth, what will some of the key messages been from Coach Kapoulis in that last timeout? I mean, they're down 4 on the night. I guess the message here is just, you know, let's see if we can win the game and then see where we're at come, you know, crunch time.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, the defense, Siauliai's defense has been very, very good. And maybe just want to raise that tempo up a little bit again. It felt like it's just slowed down. Just try and raise the levels, raise the energy. Try and get that spark going. You know, you've seen it. How many times have you seen it where, you know, there's been a dunk or a big play, and then you see that momentum swing for the Bristol Flyers, and there's an awful long way to go in this game, and a lot can happen.
Under 6 minutes to go. Bradley, Ollison thought about the 3. It's going to be a foul called on Basleek. He slipped on the court there, you see, and he was always on the back foot there. Lucas to put it in from the sideline. All into Ollison. Puts it on the floor. It's going to be an offensive foul called against Ollison for hooking.
Wow, that didn't look not too much of a hook there. And that adds more frustration onto Tevin Ollison
as well, because Tevin Ollison, his game is done on that play as well after that foul.
That is a tough ball. I guess you can't review that. That you would probably know what happened to review it. But yeah, it looked an awfully tough call.
Here's Armand. Brings it up over the timeline. Guarded by Lucas. Danny Savicius on the wing. Has Johnson on it. Puts it on the floor into a double. It's stolen by the Flyers. Johnson. Kicks it out. Lucas on the wing now. Turns the corner. Floats it up. Oh, it's blocked by Van der Plas. Just throws it out of play. Billy Lucas to inbound from the baseline. Ball into Bradley. Again, it's blocked by Van der Plas. Pair of back-to-back blocks for him.
Athletic Van der Plas with that alley-oop play that he had in that first leg at home.
Yeah. Danny Savicius is wrapped up by Brad Green. He's got his hand on the ball there. There's a coming together of the players. To see what the officials called here, whether they called it a common foul or an unsportsmanlike. A common foul, I think, is the call. Very sideline ball, because that's just the Flyers' 14th foul. So now they are in the penalty for these last 5 minutes as well. So that doesn't do their case for a comeback a whole lot of good. Armand to inbound from the sideline. Danny Savicius. Menakis. Back inside to Danny Savicius. Step back two. Knocks it down. Incredibly tough shot by the big man.
He's had a few daggers there, isn't he? And that's almost another one. That is a tough shot, big shot. And all the momentum with Siauliai at the moment. Still time.
14 now is the lead on aggregate. Jacob with the three, overcooks the triple. Lucas chases it down into the hands of Menakis though. And again, Siauliai come up with the stop. The clock is their friend now. And they wind this one down. An offensive foul on the ball screen. You can see it there. But Danny Savicius picks up the foul.
It's a bit scrappy, isn't it, at the moment?
It's been an incredibly scrappy fourth quarter between these two teams. Quite free-flowing so far in the game up until this point. It's really slowed down. I mean, Siauliai have outscored the Flyers 11 points to 4 so far in this fourth quarter. Points hard to come by for Coach Kapoulas' side right now.
But yeah. It's that over physical play which is now being called, but yeah, just bodying the player up there. It was, you kind of feel like that's been happening all game, and now all of a sudden it's beginning to call those. Have been physical. Clear foul there.
4 minutes and change to go in the fourth quarter. They've played almost 80 minutes of basketball in the last week or so. Thomas Edwards swings to Jacob. Jacob drives into a double team looking for Green, and it's stolen away by Siauliai. Palmer. Now top to Van der Plas. Nice pass into Danny Savicius. And Siauliai are running away with this one.
Yeah.
Coach Kapoulas looks to the table to call a timeout. His side trailing by 8, 16 on aggregate. And Siauliai are looking good for a place in the ENBL playoff final four.
Yeah, Danny Savicius with great play there, slipping the screen. Brad Green all over him, slipped the screen, found him way to the basket. Really stepping up, having a massive second half.
And for the Bristol Flyers, I mean, still, just under 4 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Seen stranger things, but it looks likely that their ENBL campaign will be done here tonight. And it was a valiant effort by them. I mean, they made it a 1-point game in the third quarter. I'm sure everyone back home in Bristol can be incredibly proud of the team.
Yeah, definitely. And, they'll want to see if they can get back in this game and take, take this one close. But yeah, you feel with 8 points down in this game and the deficit of 8 overall, 16 overall, then it's tough ask with 3 minutes forward. You don't feel there's any momentum right now either. That they're sort of on the cusp of getting some quick points. It's been a bit of a struggle this fourth quarter.
If they can, I know it's a 16-point game on aggregate, but if they can maybe take the game on the night, 8-point deficit, that'll be something for Bristol Flyers to take away from this. I mean, we spoke about it earlier, but Siauliai just lost just one game their whole ENBL campaign this season. So if they can pick up a scalp from Siauliai, that'll be something that Flyers can take back into their British Basketball League season, heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely.
Here's Tejon Lucas. 3.5 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Jacob on the wing, pulls up for a mid-range 2, can't get it to go. Rebound secured by Ahmed. Danny Savages. Manakis puts it on the floor, draws the foul, and Manakis will go to the line to shoot 2. And Gareth, this is the team, the Siauliai team. They made the ENBL final in 2000 a couple of years ago, in fact. And they fell short in the end to Anwil Volkswagen, who went on to play in the FIBA Europe Cup this past season. We've seen many teams in this league go up and down through the higher levels of European basketball. Flyers to be competing with them in the ENBL this season. It certainly has been great to see. It's been a big learning experience for everyone involved with the club, learning what it takes to be successful at this level.
Yeah, they've been a really good team to watch, Siauliai. Really enjoyed both games so far. Been really entertaining to watch.
Here's Keely Johnson, deep 3 ball on the way, can't get it to go. And Siauliai can use up some more clock here. Danny Savages. Out to Basleek. And the drive left against Johnson. And the offensive foul. Keely Johnson, his second charge drawn in this game.
Keely Johnson not giving up the fight. Incredible foot speed to get back on defense there and to take that charge.
He's got 8 points in this game, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, a couple of drawn charges as well. He's doing the little things out there for Coach Kapoulis' side. Just over 2.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Lucas. Keely Johnson. Screen comes from Brad Green. Lucas thought about the 3, puts it on the floor. It's got another travel called against the Bristol Flyers. Incredible.
Yeah. Same referee again, isn't he? He's on his footwork.
Ahmed. Screen comes from Romanchenko. Romanchenko's got a mismatch with Lucas on him. Corner stolen by Johnson. 3-pointer on the way. It's going to be a foul and count it.
Tough shots.
Incredible. Manakis drains the triple. And he will go to the line to convert on a 4-point play.
Incredible concentration there. Brad Green flying out at you. And yeah, I think that might be the play that
it wasn't over
seals
before.
it. Yeah, I think that might be the one.
Manakis converts on a 4-point play. And that puts Siauliai up by 13 points on aggregate. 13 points on the night even. Siauliai now looking to empty the bench. Here's Lucas. Johnson driving inside. All the way to the hole. Keely Johnson can't get it to go. There's Brad Green on the follow with the hook shot. Arman. Daniel Savicius, guarded by Bradley. Then another foul called against the Bristol Flyers.
Send Siauliai the line for another couple.
Well, Daniel Savicius will head to the foul line. It's been a great game for him. 13 points. Hit a huge pair of back-to-back threes when the aggregate tie got close. To create that separation once again. Converts on the extra free throw.
Yeah, they were two almost game-changing back-to-back shots, wasn't it? You know, just when Flyers were up, bit of momentum, he able to keep Siauliai in the game.
Lucas, his shot no good. Rebound, Daniel Savicius. Arman. Got Trajan Jacob on him. Ball screen comes. Romanchenko, nice pass, and Daniel Savicius blows the dunk, but he'll go to the line to shoot too. And Gareth, a lot of people look at the score now and think, you know, oh, it was quite a straightforward win for Siauliai in the end, but I mean, Bristol Flyers, they gave it their all in this game, in this series. They gave the run in the third quarter. They brought it down to a 1-point aggregate tie. And Siauliai just showed their class in the end and really able to withstand the Flyers' run. Stay calm, composed under pressure, knocking down their shots when they needed to most, and now really stretched the lead out once again.
Yeah, and I do think defensively it feels like, you know, Siauliai go up another gear when they want to defensively and make it incredibly difficult for the Flyers to get any sort of scoring, you know, late in that third quarter and this fourth quarter as well. You know, it feels they've just got another gear. I don't know if it's a select group of players, but you know, that swarming defense, they just don't give up anything easy. And Bristol Flyers, you know, really sort of struggling to put points on the board after the half, right after the third quarter.
Brad Green with that two-handed throwdown on that last possession. Flyers will get it back here as well. Jacob for three on the wing. Can't get it to go. Offensive rebound battered up by Green, but only into the hands of Romanchenko. Arman. Daniel Savicius. Offensive foul is called away from the basketball.
Romanchenko, I think.
Romanchenko just battling with Jacob inside. Just off the left of the screen there. Here's Lucas. Step back three ball on the way. Off the back iron, no good. Brad Green battling for the rebound. Ends up with Daniel Savicius. Oh, nice pass, and it's just flushed home by Romanchenko. And the shot clock will be turned off here. Well, they'll be almost identical, in fact. Lucas will fire up the three-pointer. He knocks it down. Cut the lead down to 11. Going to be jammed in by Zakuskas. Lucas will float it up. Jacob with the rebound. Puts it up and puts it in.
Okay.
On the buzzer.
A bit of an all-star thing at the end there, wasn't it? Just you score, I'll score.
And that will do it. Siauliai come out on top, 90 points to 79 on the night. 19-point win on aggregate for the Lithuanian side, and they will advance to the ENBL playoff final 4 to take on the Bakken Bears. Well, we'll have full-time reaction from Gareth Till right after the break.
Is watching basketball at 3 in the morning enough? No, of course not. So you always wanted to be part of the team, your own basketball club, in your own backyard. What if I said you could? ENBL. 9 European countries, 15 pro teams, 60 games a season. The fastest growing basketball league in Europe. In the arena, on TV, or streaming live on your phone. Reach out to us and join the ENBL family. ENBL, right here in your backyard.
No one goes further than ATPI to get our customers and understand what you need. We know that different people, in different roles, in different industries, need different things. And you want a specialist to deliver what really matters. We know the way your business works and what you need to get the job done. We're on call at any time, getting your teams almost anywhere. When the trip goes from A to B to Z, we make it hassle-free. At ATPI, our purpose is clear. Through our group of specialist businesses, ATPI Corporate Travel, Marine Travel and Energy Travel, Mining Travel, Events, Sports Travel and Direct ATPI. We will deliver what really matters to you and your organisation. ATPI, delivering what really matters.
Welcome back to Flyers TV, where BC Siauliai have advanced to the ENBL playoff final 4. It's a 19-point aggregate win over the Bristol Flyers. I'm joined by former Flyers captain Gareth Till in the studio. And Gareth, this was a game of runs. You know, you talk about basketball being a game of runs. This definitely was a game of runs here. I mean, the Flyers, they did that incredible comeback in the third quarter, and then Siauliai just had a response in that fourth.
Yeah, you kind of felt that Siauliai, always had like an extra gear almost. I think defensively, they're able to turn it on. The Flyers really struggling in that fourth quarter, just 13 points, and you always felt they had that in a locker or a group of 5 that could really put pressure on Bristol defensively, and Flyers were sort of struggling to get some shots away, and that was just creating opportunities for them to get on the break and just really push that lead out. So really difficult fourth quarter. Saw a few travelling calls towards the end of that as well. Really took the wind out of the sails. For any momentum they tried to get going was sort of stopped in its tracks. So clearly Siauliai well-deserved winners over the 2 legs, and a great team to watch play basketball.
Yeah, they certainly were. And you talk about some of the travels at the end there. I mean, it's not often you see a travel called in a game in the first place. I mean, to see like 3 or 4 called within 4 or 5 different plays is quite unheard of.
Yeah, and I think it was because they were so close to each other as well. It sort of highlighted the fact that it wasn't sort of spread. It was within like 2 minutes. It was his call. So that really obviously didn't help Flyers get any sort of momentum on top of Siaulai's great defence as well. So yeah, just not to be in that fourth quarter. But you've got to give Bristol Flyers full credit. They gave themselves a chance of being there or thereabouts. Coming into that fourth quarter, had the lead in the third quarter. So you must give full credit to the guys going away in a difficult place and sort of on the cusp of doing something special.
Well, let's take a look at some of the key plays from that second half. And the Flyers, they really rallied back in that third quarter. Trajan Jacob knocking down threes for fun. He finished with 23 points off the bench, and it's great to see him sort of getting his turn to lead the team in scoring, because he's sort of struggled quite recently in the British Basketball League. Yeah,
it's just that bit of confidence there, but we know he's certainly got the capability of doing it, and he doesn't hesitate, does he? It's that quick release and make the big plays, and he stood up to make those shots, but tonight just wasn't meant to be for the team.
And they shaved it down to a 1-point lead on aggregate in that third quarter, and then again Siauliai just showing their class. I mean, Paulius Danisavicius just knocking down these open threes, a pair of back-to-back triples to sort of recreate that separation, and that was huge for them going into the fourth.
Yeah, exactly. You just see that pick and pop situation there. Brad Green, the bigger man, unable to have the quickness to step out, and they sort of ran that time and time again, this pick and pop play. And it's when you've got a tall player like that can step out that stretch position, it just makes it very difficult. And you just see this great shooting in the end.
You look down the stat sheet for Siauliai, they had 6 players in double figures for them, led by Sean Armand, who, of course, we spoke about in the build-up to the game. New signing for the team, 20 points, 6 assists. He did most of his damage in that first quarter alone. Then the rest of the players just picked up around him.
Yeah, it felt like he had such a standout first quarter, didn't he? That he was sort of leading the team. And then almost felt the other players got into it as the course of the game went on, but he obviously got off to that strong start. Player that we hadn't seen before, sort of up close. So he certainly had a massive impact. Certainly no fear coming into this game, and just showing his quality.
And if we take a look at the team stats as a whole throughout this game, I mean, it was very tight in the first half. They shaved it right down, the Flyers. It was very balanced. And then, you look at the numbers here on the screen. What is it that really stood out for you? What was the real difference maker in this game?
Well, you can look at the the 3-point efficiency, 40% as a team from behind the arc. That's always going to be a tough night defensively if you're shooting 40 behind the arc. The rebound battles, you don't see many teams, out-rebound the Bristol Flyers, but Siauliai 41-32. I think that stands out for me as well. So, just the general consistency of Siauliai across the board in every category, scoring-wise, had a higher percentage, and ultimately, of course, that's what wins you the game.
Yeah, well, Siauliai, of course, they were good for their lead in the end, and they ran out winners 90-79 on the night to win by 19 points on aggregate. And, of course, that will send them through to the Final Four. But from a Flyers point of view, first season in a European competition, no one really knew what to expect coming into the ENBL. One of 2 teams from the British Basketball League competing in this competition this season. It's been a real fun adventure for them, and I'm sure a lot of learning experiences for them moving forward.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. We've all been behind the Bristol Flyers, the fans at home, the players, the coaching staff. It's been a great experience coming in here doing the games as well. It's just been a fantastic experience, and let's hope they build on this for the next seasons, because I sort of keep talking about the injuries that the team have had this year. Really, I can't recall ever seeing so many sort of nasty injuries that have had layoffs for such a long period of time, for freakish injuries, and that really kind of didn't help either. But I'm sure they'll keep battling on the British Basketball League, but it's been a great achievement to get where they were, and it's just the start of a long journey, hopefully, in European basketball.
Yeah, and focus now for Bristol will switch back to their British Basketball League regular season campaign, of course boosted now by the return of Leslie Smith from that hand injury. All to play for now. I mean, all important seedings going into playoff time in the British League.
Yeah, massively. They'll want to finish as high as they can in the British Basketball League and give themselves a decent sort of shot at the playoffs. It's a sort of, from second down, was a very competitive kind of situation, and it'll be fascinating to see where everyone ends up, because I think it is really quite close, really, from second down, with anyone could beat anyone. So it'll be fascinating to watch how that plays out. And you don't want to use the cliche concentrate on the league, but I guess they can now focus back to domestic campaign and still got something to play for in the playoffs.
Great stuff. Well, thank you, Gareth, for joining us on Flyers TV this season and on our ENBL season. Hopefully we'll see you back down for some more British Basketball League games later on in the campaign. And that's going to do it for our coverage here on Flyers TV for our ENBL campaign. Don't forget, you can next watch the Flyers in action this Saturday when they come back home to the UK. They'll face Cheshire Phoenix away from home for a 5 p.m. tip-off on Saturday night. You can watch that game over on the British Basketball League YouTube channel. Gareth, final thoughts from yourself? I mean, it's the Flyers campaign has come to an end, but it's been a real fun ride, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been great, and of course, getting to learn more about Europe as well with producer Dan's sort of little travel guides has also been a highlight of my experience here. So with all said, the basketball has been great. It's great to see other teams and how they play in Europe, and it's just been a fun experience. And as I said, hopefully this will be the start of a long journey of European basketball, and look back in 10, 20, 30 years time onto this season and where it all sort of European, where it all sort of started.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this evening on Flyers TV, and thank you to you at home for tuning into Flyers TV. And that's going to do it. Flyers TV, powered by ATPI, is a wrap for the 2023-24 season. For Gareth Till, I'm Joel Osborne saying so long, and we'll see you next time.